I have had a nice successful morning. We got some stuff done, had a nice breakfast. Now it's feeling like it's time to jump back into the multiverse. So, that's what we're here to do. Apparently, the title screen says clicking new game is forbidden, but luckily for us, we don't have to click new game. We're jumping into our existing run. So let's get back into it and see where we're at. So, we are in the middle of a stealth run here. We have our multiverse stealth ship, the VSS Pathfinder, with our Dungeons and Dragons themed team. Pathfinder specifically is the tabletop RPG I play currently, so that's where we're grabbing our classes from. And we have a pretty effective gear setup here, with the halberd beam here to really give us some punch. This multiplier is a flak gun that shoots really fast and helps us take shields down. We've just brought our particle accelerator online, which does system damage but doesn't hurt anything else. So that way, once the shields are down, we can actually stop them from shooting us. And we have an ion in the final slot here to potentially help us take shields down faster. So, overall, things here are looking pretty good for us, but we do have one significant problem, which is that our ship really can't deal with borders very well at all. We have no medbay, since we have a clone bay, and we have no actually combat-trained crew. So when things start to go bad in the melee fighting side of things, they go bad pretty fast. Hey, Neil. It is, probably the biggest weakness we still have. We may want to be investing in some door upgrades to slow down our enemies before too long here, because it could be nasty. We have jumped into the Republican Dominion, which has these hectare stores, and if we go to all of them, we can get uwu points, and those uwu points will do something to us, probably. They can't be good. Last time we came here, we only went to like 2 of the stores, but we're gonna try and go to all of them and see what happens if we get all the points this time. So we'll just need to keep that in mind, because the exit is actually pretty far to the left here, so we'll need to make sure we can get to here in only 9 jumps. So if we're doing something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that basically is all the room we have to move around with. So we'll see exactly how it goes, but I think we're basically going to scoot through the map like that and find out what we see along the way. We could go to an asteroid field. We actually have our shields up pretty effectively now, so the asteroids aren't really that big of a problem for us. But just for the sake of interest, let's jump over here. It is also worth noting, since this is a nebula, it will slow down the fleet advance, so I probably have a couple of extra jumps, maybe 1 or 2 more than it would have otherwise predicted. But regardless, we'll see how it takes us as we jump in. So let's get moving. Scans show a remote settlement being blockaded by a pirate ship. The ship hastily messages us. Stay out of this, or you'll be next. Concentrate fire on... We can... particle tech? I guess particle weapons are also for crop burning? It's usually fire weapons on this event. We're just gonna fight these guys, because there's no reason not to, as far as I can tell. We're not here to specifically try and murder the settlers in this distant location, though. Let's attack the pirates. You asked for it! They pull away from the planet and move in to engage. Alright, well, let's do nothing. They've got a bunch of lasers, but I'm not that worried about them. Just with our cloak, we should be able to dodge any really nasty barrage from this 5-shot charge. Space, where you always exist in a vacuum. It's true. Alright. They have surprisingly few crew, but they do have a lot of potential firepower. Whether or not they actually use it remains to be seen. Let's go ahead and ion the shields first. Once that hits, then we will barrage them with the multiplier. That's good enough for me. And as soon as that all goes down, we're going to shoot them with the particle beam here and the halberd beam through the rest of their ship, I think. This should basically cook these guys. Alright, we give up. We're terrible at this pirating thing anyway. Unfortunately for them, piracy cannot be forgiven, and we continue our attack. Oh, they do have the cloak going for them, though. That'll give them a chance to break our chain here. Fortunately for us, we've managed to put some damage on their weapons, and as a result, they will not be causing us any trouble here. Let's go ahead and take the shields out and then blow these poor fools up. And that is game. We pick through the remains and contact the settlement, getting 3 fuel, 1 drone part, and 28 scrap. Better offer than they offered us before. With the pirates gone, we signal the station.
We appreciate what you've done, but there'll just be another ship looking to profit from our isolation soon enough. Sorry, can't give you more.
2 fuel, 2 missiles, 20 scrap. Good reward. We've done a good deed here in the eyes of the Federation. It's a general notoriety? I don't know what that means. Is that only, like, Federation? Why does it say general and not Federation? I don't know. That seems like a weird naming choice. That could have made that a little bit more clear, because Federation makes it sound like it applies for everybody, but I don't think that's the case. The pirates probably did not get a reputation increase from us killing them. Either way, there's a distress beacon over here, but I don't think I can go to it. If we need to be able to jump to all these beacons, we probably are going to need to be careful with how far we go off course. So let's jump over here first into the asteroid field and see how it goes. A large leech carrier, no doubt a remnant of those fabled glory days, looms in the distance. As you approach, a shuttle detaches from the ship and glides carefully through the asteroids towards you. It's not quite a new run, Desare. We started this one yesterday, but we're only about halfway into the ship.
Please help! I've been drafted into the military, but I know it is nothing but a death sentence. I still have my whole life ahead of me. Please take me with you.
You know what I mean, Viking. Even though I said the wrong names, you know what I mean. Yeah, we could take a leech. I mean, they're not good. They're not really good for what we need. But, like, I'll take him. The health regeneration means that he'll actually be a good one to send to fight, because as long as he's not dead, he can actually heal. So that is actually a decent element of it. Let's go ahead and accept him and get out of here. We're going to have to rename him to one of our D&D classes. I'm not sure what he'll be yet, but for now, he can sit here on the sensors, and we'll send him out as need be. Time to jump to our first store here with Hector. And then we'll be able to name him from there. These Hector stores sure are plentiful. It's almost concerning how much of this sector is just stores, but you suppose it's better than deadly rebels. The Hector Customer Support. Class Ship. TM. Inquire about Uwu points. The Hector employee perks up.
A new customer! Oh crap, I get a commission for these! I can help you set up your account for a small fee of 700 scrap.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Vikings, the only time there would be a downside to accepting a new crew member is if not accepting them would let you do something better. Like, if it's a surrender option and you actually really need resources, or if you think that there's one option that's going to be take a crew, but there's another option that's going to be get them to give you something else. So there are times where you don't want to accept a crew member. And if it's a trap. There's some that look like they give you a crew, but they're bait. How about no?
Oh man, worth a shot. Anyways, the account is actually free. By setting up your account, you get 1 Uwu point for free. Every time you visit a Hector marketplace, make sure to collect your Uwu point before you shop. Collect 4 points and you'll be entered into our customer reward program. The slug transfers over an Uwu point to your account. Now go buy something or get lost.
Well, we have no real meaningful tasks to do aboard the ship, so let's take a look at the store and see if there's anything interesting in here. We've got a crew teleporter and a med bay, backup battery, drone control, and hacking. Systems might be nice here. Oh, right! These are the guys that sell the modular weapons. Interesting. We might want to pick up one of these. I don't think we need these. The advanced ventilation doesn't seem that important. We already have long-range scanners, and the improved armory could help, because we do suck at combat, but I don't know for sure if I think that's really going to help. Drone parts aren't going to be relevant. We don't have the resources to invest into that right now, I don't think. We need our money elsewhere. So the real question is just, do we want to sell these things? I think we're going to keep the repair burst, because this just seems like a way to fill up your health for free, and anywhere where you can have missiles left over and charge a weapon when you're not under attack. So that seems pretty good to keep in reserve, but I think the conservative bomb has run its time now. I think we're going to sell this one here. Now, what do we have here? We have some different little modules. I've never tried one of these modular weapons, but it seems like it could be an interesting thing to experiment with. Because, as it says here, the modular missile supports one attribute module and one status module, incompatible with Pierce, because it already pierces shields. So this is a 2-power missile that currently does 3 damage to everything. The neural module. Turn your modular weapons into crew-disrupting neural weaponry. No incompatibilities. So for laser effects, it's 12 seconds of stun. Beam effects are 18 seconds of stun. Missile effects are 14 seconds. And ion effects are equal to the stun duration plus 2 seconds. That's pretty wild. The Firestarter module... It's an attribute Firestarter module. This is a status module. So I could use 1 silver and 1 gray with the rocket launcher, for example. Has a 30% fire chance to lasers, 40 to beams, 100 to missiles, and 100 to ion direct hits. Interesting. I have a feeling I know how these work. But I didn't the first time through, but I've played the game enough now that I have an idea how this stuff works. Fire and stun don't necessarily seem like the coolest abilities for the kind of ship we're running right now, so I don't think I'm going to buy any of these parts. We'll save our money to buy something else at one of the later stations, because I think they're probably going to have some stuff we'll want by the time we go a bit further. So let's move on from this shop and grab our second uwu point. And see what else they've got sitting around out here. What other modular weapon options can we put together? An over-enthusiastic employee of Hector greets you.
Hey, hi, howdy, hello, how do you do? Please buy things. I can't see my family again till I meet my quota.
Let's collect our uwu point. And let's do something on board the ship. Now, there's still nothing to do on board the ship. We do nothing. We go here. They have the missile, the neural mod. We just saw these. And a hull module. Okay. Decimate the enemy's hull with heavy-hitting modular weaponry. No incompatibilities. When combined with the rad module, will return to default hull damage, but will not have hull bust properties? I don't know what that means yet. Laser beam and missiles do double damage on systemless rooms to get more breach chance. Ion effects. Ion becomes energy. Oh, interesting. So hull damage happens every time ion hits. Interesting. Well, anytime it hits the hull, anyway. But no system or crew damage and fire chance. I like how the stats say can't be shot, because you have to apply it to another thing. Oh yeah, Iron Pizza. I know there's a ton of weird stuff in this game, but we are still in the learning how the basic mechanics work phase, so we're not necessarily trying to get the wild options yet. The hull module could actually be good if we got something like one of these guns that have some spread applied, so it makes it more valuable if it's going to hit empty rooms, but I don't think we know that's really what's going to happen, and I don't know. We'll keep running. I don't know what else we need here. There's still plenty of room for us to find other interesting toys. So at this point, we have, what, 7 jumps before we have to get out? Plus or minus 1, probably. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we'll be wasting 1. So I might jump here and then over to the asteroid field and then swoop our way around to get a bit of extra cash so that we can see what's out there. So, my understanding about modular weapons, don't tell me if I'm wrong yet, because I haven't actually bought one. I was worried originally that the mod was going to take up one of our weapon slots, but I think what's going to happen is if you have a mod in your inventory, you're going to get an option in this menu to apply the mod. And it's basically going to replace the weapon you apply it to with the one with the mod applied to it. So, it's basically going to be a, like, menu option that lets you swap them in and out, like how this menu lets you change which drone modes are if you have a drone that can swap between defense and boarding versions. So we'll see, but we're gonna jump around and get a little bit of cash first and then keep going to the stores. It sure seems as if nearly every government nowadays is in the midst of rebellion, including the leeches. A revolutionary vessel, dangerously low on fuel, decides to attack you for all you've got. Well, they do have a boarding. Will they come board us? Maybe. Yeah, they're sending their vampweed to come fight us, it looks like. Oh yeah, the multiplier flak gun is pretty good at taking down enemy shields, it turns out. This vampweed is going to have a bad day. Now, unfortunately for the crew, they may have a bunch of lasers and some rockets and a bomb, but we also have a stealth system and overwhelming firepower, so we're just going to put that to work here, I think. I could wait a little bit longer for the halberd beam to be fully online, but I kind of want to take them out before they get a chance to hit us with much else here. There we go. And let's put that back on auto fire and this back on auto fire, and we'll just halberd them a little, you know, just to remind them who's boss. I think we can probably hit all 4 of these rooms, but it's going to be really close. This is the one part that's always a little unfortunate about using beam weapons, is like the pixel hunting you sometimes have to do to find the perfect shot. There we go. Can be a bit of a pain. But these guys are very dead, so it is a-okay. Goodbye, you poor unfortunate leeches. If the legends of the once great leech military were ever true, they certainly don't hold up today. For your sake, let's hope they never make a resurgence. Missile, drone part, 26 scrap. Not great, but it may go towards building a fun mod weapon. Alright, let's jump into the asteroid field next. The nearby leech ship looks to be dumping out several lumpy black bags from their airlocks near a trash ring. Must be another lazy do-nothing who can't be bothered to recycle. What a weird event. I mean, stop that! Littering is bad! We're a party of heroic adventurers and a leech who I forgot to rename. Littering is bad. The leech captain looks at you bewildered.
Huh? Yeah. Littering. I do apologize. Yeah.
Demand they pick it up themselves. The leech ship panics, frightened by the responsibility now placed on them. They power up their weapons. What a silly event. Alright, we have a flak gun, a rocket, and a 2-shot laser over here. That should be fine. They are going to be boarding us with 3 crew. I don't really want that. So, do we have the firepower here to make them change their mind about trying to board us? I probably want to save the missile to dodge, or save the cloak to dodge the missile. But if we cloak them out now, we could probably destroy it before they get the chance to fire. So they're going to probably still be able to board us, but if we hit them hard enough, they're not going to be able to do anything else. So let's just dodge here, let them take a little pummeling. And hit them with an ion in the shields. Hit him with a multiplier in the weapons, I guess. Doesn't really matter, we're doing this to bring the shields down anyway. And they are on board as expected, but they're also going to be pretty quickly reduced in potential power. Let's get our people up in here to fight off the invaders. I guess I shouldn't move you because you're currently powering our shields. But that'll do. Get some people in here to help fight, and just for completion's sake, let's go ahead and melt these guys' systems. We don't necessarily want to destroy the teleporter, because if we can do enough damage, they'll probably want to go home. Because their ship is dying, and they probably want to go help make that not be the case. So if the teleporter is still fixed, they'll probably leave before they get the chance to actually do any more damage to us. We are out of oxygen, though, because of the lack of power in O2, since leeches turn the system completely unavailable. So hopefully that won't be a problem. We are taking a lot of damage in here, though. I'm hoping they decide to go home now. Let's go ahead and halberd them in the helm and oxygen, and then slowly through here. This might make them teleport at least these guys home. They probably can't take them all back because they're in different rooms. But if we only get left with one person we have to deal with, that will be more manageable. Will they try to go home? Let's find out. Yes, indeed. The 2 leeches went home to die a horrible death on board their ship. You love to see it. Alright, our slug is getting murdered though, so let's move them out of this fight for a minute so they can start healing and handle the crystal crew. Sound does not travel through space, so you're only left to wonder what sound the leech's ship's crew made as they're blown to smithereens. That's not how that's spelled, I don't think. It might be. Smithereens? I don't know how you spell that word. Maybe that is right. 2 fuel, 1 missile, 35 scrap. We pick up the trash. You float closer to the black bags and scoop them up into the ship. However, they're oddly squishy. Pulling open the bag reveals a revolting sight of dismembered leech organs recently cut apart. Looks like these guys are trying to hide the evidence. You can burn the leeches for fuel? That's horrible. Toss the body parts back into the void? I'll just clone them, they'll be fine. The frightened and most certainly traumatized leech that emerges from your clone bay proceeds to panic and demands to know who you are. Once you've explained the situation, they calm down and agree to work. Probably because they're afraid you'll kill them too. Alright. That's what I thought, Nihil. Smithereens, 2 E's, then an N. That's what I was thinking. Alright. Well, congratulations. Welcome to the ship here, friend. It's time for you to come help us. Also, let's turn the oxygen back on so people don't suffocate in here. 2 leeches is probably going to be better for us than leaving our other crew in combat duty, because at least, like I was saying earlier, the leeches regenerate. So even though they kind of suck at fighting themselves, having them around will mean that no one else has to be taking the permanent, semi-permanent health damage that would otherwise be associated with them. So, maybe that's how leeches pronounce it? Maybe. Now, one other thing that's worth considering is that because the ship has a clone bay and not a med bay, we don't get the med bay, or the internal lab upgrade for free. So if we want to try and give our team any of those upgrades, we actually don't have access to them unless we put a bit more investment in. For now though, let's jump to these stores and see what else we can get. A sleazy clerk with grease stains on his chest eyes your ship.
Ah, a Federation ship. You must have money. Gimme, gimme.
Give me my uwu point. Alright, we're undoubtedly doing something horrible to ourselves here by collecting these things. It can't be good, but who knows? Maybe they'll give us something fun at the end. Okay, so we have a modular ion. That's interesting. It takes 1 more power than our simple ion, and it's quite a bit slower, but it's a 3 shot? No, it's 1 3 damage shot. I think that's just worse. Maybe there's like a reload speed mod that we could get that would make it comparably powerful, but like, the problem is it still won't chain. So as a result, I don't think it's really going to be super valuable for us. The power module here is interesting. It adds 2 projectiles, but 1 cost and a bit more cooldown. It adds beam length and speed, and breach chance to beams. Interesting. The missiles just add 1 damage, and ion increases the ion damage. So in theory, we could use the modular ion to make it a 4 ion damage single shot, but it still takes 16 seconds to load up, so I don't know how good that is. Before we buy it, what's the actual time set on our simple ion? Because it's getting sped up a lot. It is still 9 seconds. Okay, so we're basically taking 50% or 30% off of the time right now. But yeah, exactly, Iron. It puts the power cost up even higher. It seems like the power module, because it makes things more damaging, that power cost really is pretty prohibitive. I don't know. These just don't feel like they're gonna do it for me still. We have a pretty powerful equipment set right now, so it kind of makes it hard to find an obvious thing I want unless it is like utility, like the repair burst is. But I am a little surprised. Let's bump ourselves up to 25 hull and keep going. We have a couple more shops to see. We'll see, maybe they've got something else more exciting that we just haven't found yet. And we have what? We have how many more jumps here? 4 jumps left before we have to be out. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, that should work. It'll probably be 5 by the time we jump over there. But let's go check out the Hectare store and see what this one has. It's all stores today, so hopefully they give us something fun for them. Looks like a Hectare representative is orbiting a nearby marketplace, painted a garish. There's a bunch of weird spelling mistakes in here. A garish shade of neon yellow, which stands out from miles away. Hopefully whatever goods are inside aren't as obnoxiously vibrant. Let's collect our uwu point. The Hectare employee goes to add your point when he stops in surprise.
Huh. You actually reached 4 points. Do you have brain damage? Why would you visit so many stores? Whatever. Congratulations. Here's the shiny key to the Hectare Mega Market, TM. Something, something, we waive all liability or whatever.
Looks like they've sent some special coordinates to your atlas. You can travel there during any sector jump before the Federation capital. Okay, we got a new zone. It's like we're going to Mega Walmart. Fair enough. We have nothing else to do on board the ship, so let's see what else they got. It's still Neural Mod and Hull Module and the missile again. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not what is this? Golden Dog Beam? A powerful anti-hull beam that when wielded against the right ships can be stronger than even a glaive beam. It is a 4 power, 2 damage doubling on systemless rooms beam. So, has the potential to do 4 damage a shot, but it only hits on empty rooms. Hydra burst missiles. 5 shots per charge. That's pretty crazy. And charge 1. I don't think we need any of those things. The Hydra's cool, but like the real problem with weapons is just we're already pretty close to maxed out on weapon power. I think we can only get 1 more power bar with these things because we're at 7 currently. So if something costs 3, we'd have to swap out one of our like core equipment to use it. And that might be okay, but like I don't know if 5 missile shots is better than being able to hit the particle beam once we knock the shields over. Although, to be fair, the main problem that we have is that the multiplier is pretty good at helping us burst down shields when they only have 2 or 3 bars, but probably won't be so good at doing that once they get up to 4+ bars. So, we probably do still need to upgrade our Ion to something better at taking down shields, and none of these really feel like the way I want to do that. The burst missiles aren't bad, because they do get through shields. But I don't know. Maybe it's just my inherent dislike of limited ammunition weapons that I have to overcome. But for now, we're going to keep jumping. We have another Hectare store to go to, so they'll make fun of us for that also. I wonder what'll happen if we go and we already have 4 points. Are they going to say something else making fun of us further? We'll find out. Oh, you can't. You've already been entered into the customer reward program. You arrive at the store, but the shipment to greet you is deathly silent. After several subsequent hails, the captain is startled awake.
Ah, god damn it. You woke me up. Yeah, whatever. Come shop or some shit.
We can fight them, but we don't think we want to do that. We want to go to their area, so we don't want to make enemies with them before we get there. Let's go shopping and see what they have in the final one of these stores. They do have some more systems. I might just grab hacking if there's nothing else that we want here, because it is pretty good. They have decoy buoys. 1 fleet delay for free, or spend drone parts for more. That could be pretty good. Improved armories we know about already. Disruption field. Protecting against either teleporter or mind control, but not both at the same time. Oh, interesting. So you can kind of like delay things at the start of the fight. That's cool. The mod laser. This is the one that I was actually debating trying to pick up. It supports 1 attribute and 1 status module. No incompatible modules. It's a 3-shot laser for 2 power and 14 seconds. That one seems pretty reasonable. 3 more shots will help us get through people's shields, too. It's only 1 more power than the simple ion. The lockdown module's maybe not the most exciting thing we want to put in here. Because, like, cool, we can lock out a room. I guess that's good if we're trying to use this to do damage to them. It'll stop people from going in to repair it. We could get it just to try. The hull bust module is the one we saw before, which doubles the damage on systemless rooms and add breach chance, which could be good. Let's see what we can do with these, because we might actually want to pick some of these up. If I grab the modular laser, and just for fun, let's take at least one of these. We might take 2 of them, but which one do I want more? Let's grab the hull bust module. I don't know if we're gonna get a chance to get more modules. Maybe in the Hector Walmart they'll have more, but just in case they don't, let's grab something here and see what it does. Let's grab lockdown. That could be fun. So if we come in here now, I suspect we will have the option to, yes, modify a modular weapon. Which weapon would you like to configure? Caution, disassembly with insufficient inventory space will destroy items. Ah, okay, so you can break them apart later, you just have to have room in your hull to be able to do so. Let's configure the modular laser, which currently has no modules, to being a lockdown modular laser. There we go. Okay, so that is kind of what I suspected. Now they should be combined in our inventory. We have a 2-power laser. 3 shots per charge, locks down rooms on hit. We aren't going to be able to use it easily for a while because they actually will need a lot of money to upgrade our weapon control all the way. I have a sip of water here. I might need to go get more, actually. 1 second. Where's the mute? Okay, there we go. Should be good for now, but if my throat's still mad, I'm going to have to go get more water because I just drank it all. So, with our modular laser here, we can, in theory, put this on for now. And that means it'll give us the same number of shots as the particle, but it does actually do hull as well as system damage and crew damage, and stops people from moving into the rooms, and can hit shields. So now, when we get the money, the particle can be our way to help bolster our firepower, but this should be a little bit stronger in general. Now, we could try to add the hull busting power to it. I think we're probably mostly going to be trying to use this with the multiplier to pummel shields down, though, so the halberd beam can get through. So this will help speed things up at the end if we have it, but I don't know how important it is. We'll leave it like this for now. But the thing we have to do before I forget any further is rename our slugs. We still have, our leeches. They're not slugs. That was very insensitive of me. Rename our leeches. We have 2 leeches to rename, and they'll need to be our D&D classes we think most appropriately fit them. And I don't really know. There's not a lot of, like, particularly wiggly D&D classes that immediately come to mind. But I'm going to call one of them our Ranger. And I'm going to call our other one... I was kind of hoping we'd wind up having like a fighter or a barbarian or a paladin or a cavalier, but I really don't feel like it's appropriate names for the leeches. So I'm going to make this last one the world's least popular bard. Just a really gross and unsettling bard. Because that's our full crew, so we actually have no more crew capacity at this point. Exactly, Sander, bard, you got it. We are going to take our horrible, sluggy friends I keep saying slugs, but these are slugs. I have one of those, two of those already. We have a very insectile crew. Let's keep jumping. I would love to buy the other module just for completeness sake, but, well, I guess I could sell the simple ion. If we're going to be using these things, I really don't need this anymore. Yeah, alright. Just for the case of maybe being able to play with, not being able to play with more mods later, let's sell the simple ion and buy the hull mod. Modify our modular weapon. Configure this one. Install the hull buster module. There we go. So now we have a fully upgraded laser. It's probably not the ideal combination of parts, but it's at least interesting. Let's see how it goes for us as we keep traveling. Yeah, looks like I wasted one jump at least in this setup, but that's fine. We'll keep moving. It appears you're receiving a long-range transmission with Zoltan encoding marked as urgent. To the Zoltan, all matters are urgent, but it still might require our attention. Well, let's listen up then. Before the time of the current president, Tyrdeo, the Irgun president, Uertus, led an unsuccessful invasion against Zoltan space. His leadership was cut short when his soon-to-be successor, Erke, led a siege on Urtus's palace and hacked him into tiny bits which were embalmed and kept as trophies. That is a lot of proper nouns. I have a feeling we're going to need to remember Tyrdeo and Uertus. But, cool history lesson. Why are you telling us this?
Have some patience. The ministry was satisfied with Erke's appointment, but to prevent future attacks, it was agreed upon that the ministry may install up to 3 embassies within Leech territory that could also serve to ensure further incidents would not occur. This has been upheld by all subsequent Leech presidents until now. Under Tyrdeo's leadership, it seems he has become so overwhelmed with the current revolution, he has turned ignorant to the effects of the Inquisition and furthermore the coalition being allowed in his territory.
Please, please just get to the point.
We are nearly there. As the Ministry supports the Federation, it is within the Coalition's best interest to prevent Federation and therefore also Ministry intervention in conflicts involving them. They appear to be afraid to take action directly, however, and thus have hired the Tikaka Slaver clan to enslave our delegates and ship them off to other stretches of the galaxy. As a Federation ship, we request that you travel to these coordinates and put an end to this. The Zoltan hang up without so much as a please or thank you. Quest marker added to the next sector. Okay, well, it's going to be hard to do that if we go into Walmart, but let's jump to the exit and see what's here first. We've arrived at the long-range beacon. Let's explore since we can't do something on board the ship anymore. We share this beacon with just one other ship, but it appears long since abandoned. We can dock and find valuable supplies, pull some scrap off it, or just leave. Well, we have a clone bay, so if anyone dies, they'll be fine. Let's dock and see if we can find valuable supplies. Hey, the salvage operation ends without a hitch. You get your crew members back on board and prepare to jump away with 48 scrap and a chain anti-hull laser. How good is that thing? Chain anti-hull laser, 1 power. Goes down to a 6-second cooldown, 2 shots per charge. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a little slow. The particle is already a little slow at 13, but it gives us 1 extra shot per charge. This goes a lot faster over time. This might be better for us, honestly. It takes us a bit of time to get up to speed anyway with our other weaponry here. We might want that. If it was more than 1 power, it would be a pretty clear, not very useful option. But this doesn't hurt shields, whereas the chain anti-hull can hurt shields. Let's give that a try. Might be worth it. We're getting some interesting stuff in here now. Let's see then. We have nowhere to go but out, so let's jump to the next sector. What are our options? It's the Union Core Worlds. Ooh, that does have an exclamation mark on it, and if we don't go there, we go to the Walmart instead. We're not going to get to see what's going on in there, but I think we are going to go to Walmart because these two almost certainly have something interesting going on in them. I don't know if we'll get to choose when we come out of Walmart, but we'll find out. Union Core Worlds, allegedly where we're going, but not where we'll end up. We've entered hyperspeed. Old Earth scientists will be proud to know their research wasn't in vain. We have several options, by which we mean one option. We proceed to the Union Core Worlds.
The Union core worlds are also home to Earth, the homeworld of mankind. Heavily protected by the militia, this is no place to play villain unless you're willing to suffer the consequences. Despite this, in recent times, a mysterious pirate faction known as the Brood have been terrorizing Union settlements abroad. Keep a lookout for these elusive pirates, there might be a reward for taking them down. We did this last time, that's how we found our spider ship in our last run. So we're going to reroute out of here, and instead, we are going to go to the Hector Mega Market. It means we miss any quests that would have spawned in the next sector, so we can't find that Zoltan quest that they were just trying to send us on, but we're going to Walmart, so it'll be fine. You're about to reroute. Below is the Atlas entry for this sector. It's the Hector Mega Market. Very low rebel threat. The Hector Industries HQ is here. The entries for this sector are bloated with product placements and corporate jargon. What concerns you more, however, is the massive number of distress beacons located within this sector. This should be interesting. Well, let's go. Let's travel our way to the Hector Mega Market. We prepare to jump to the new coordinates and change our flight path accordingly. Who knew that Space Walmart was such a problem? Even after closing your Atlas, the torrent of advertisements doesn't stop. Just about every product imaginable is shilled to you in under a minute. You finally resort to muting the ship's radio so you can hear yourself think again.
Greetings, valued customers! Welcome to Hector Industries TM's Hector Mega Market TM. It's always wonderful to see new debtors in these parts.
Thanks. Wait, did you just call us debtors?
Oh, another one! Your new arrivals always seem so surprised. Yes, I'm afraid you are in massive debt to Hector Industries. Don't you know that every Uwu point you collect comes with a fee of 625 scrap? Yes, sir, you now owe us a total of 2,500 scrap. Quite the predicament.
That's such a weird response to this. Being told, surprise, you're massively in debt. The answer is, well, what do we do about it?
Oh, that's quite simple. You pay it or you stay here forever. Don't worry if you do end up staying. Hector Industries sells just about everything you need to live a painfully adequate life of a middle-wage worker. Good luck.
Surely there's something we can do. It's gonna be pay us. The slug laughs.
Yeah, sure. You could go track down Mr. Billy Hector himself and ask for your debt to be cleared. Ha! Get real.
Do we just blow these guys up? It's not a good idea to make enemies with the people in the area we are on the first jump if they're not openly hostile. We'll probably be killing some of these guys soon, but let's not start by antagonizing them. We'll see what happens as we get another jump in. We may not have a choice. For now, though, let's leave. The guard waves you goodbye as you distance yourself. Yep. Let's perform a salvage operation. Run a salvage mission. What do we find? Ah, a small shrine located nearby drifts abandoned through space. Well, Illustriant temples are a big deal for the Zoltan, so let's see what happens. Usually this does nothing, but sometimes there's a monk inside and it gives you presents. We'll find out. You allow the Zoltan a few moments to utter a prayer to the shrine. In doing so, you gain the attention of a small elderly monk who you didn't notice before.
Eh? Visitors? It's been so long since I've seen people.
The monk looks at your Zoltan, praying.
I see you are people of good faith. I appreciate that. Perhaps I will come with you and remind myself what the galaxy looks like.
Well, bad news, Astrid. We don't have room. I would love another Zoltan crew, but I don't think that's gonna work. Their ability is interesting, though. They just allow you to stun everyone else in the room for some amount of time. But they can't fight... Is that fight, comma, crew, comma, or sabotage systems? Or is it they cannot fight crew members or sabotage systems? I have a feeling it's that one. They just can't do battle. It's funny now that we have a monk when we already have a different Zoltan named Monk, but I actually like him better. I think we're just gonna dump Astrid back off the ship, unfortunately. Having our human engineer who's actually decent at running engines and at repairing things feels to me probably better than the one bonus power we'd get here, and our other crew are all... well, we could swap out Alchemist, I suppose. Because Alchemist right now, I believe, is just sitting in the doors, and we already have another slug, so it's not like we're really getting any advantage out of having a second one for the blue options, the telepathy, etc. It might be a good idea to take them in place of the alchemist. I don't know. I think we're probably just going to keep what we've got. The thing about this is that we have a problem with borders. An alchemist can go fight, whereas Asted here cannot. Sorry, bud. You're going to go back out onto your little island in the middle of space. We actually don't have room for your crew. I thought they gave us a present. I didn't remember they wanted to come with us. Alright, well, we might need some money here, so let's not spend any money for a bit. Let's go see what happens. Looks like, I'm assuming the gimmick here is that every beacon is going to be a distress beacon if it's not a store. So let's go check out the first distress beacon and see how things go here. We're on a planet. This distress beacon has landed you somewhere unexpected. A lush, terraformed paradise, housing in its center a vast ring-shaped building which is home to none other than Hector HQ. We found Hector HQ on the first jump? Strangely, the distress beacon is broadcasting only on a few specific frequencies, one of which is a more secretive Federation channel. Well, let's investigate them. You land on the HQ landing pad, surprised to find no intervention from any kind of security. As you approach the building, however, you're stopped by a rather dangerous-looking security system which refuses you entry. But we have a monk who can teleport, so let's attempt to gain access. Looks like your attempt to enter was successful. You carry on throughout the building, but it's clear things aren't too good in here. Faint bloodstains decorate the walls, mostly the bright green sludge known to spill out of dead slugs. It's weeks old, though, a foreboding omen of the state of what you might find deeper inside. At last, you come across an open office door. Stepping inside, you find a blue slug slumped over a desk, silently sobbing to himself. He perks up when he sees you, and his demeanor quickly changes between shock, terror, anger, and finally, defeat.
So, you finally come to kill me. I knew the deadline would arrive. Well, you have me now. I give up. Just kill me.
The options are, what is this guy talking about, and just kill him. Who are you, and who is trying to kill you? The slug seems to realize you aren't who he expected.
Wait, you are Taurus? I'm saved! Saved! Haha! I'm Billy Hector, CEO of Hector and great-grandchild to Carl Hector, founder of Hector Industries. I knew that signal would reach someone eventually. Unfortunately, I've been trapped in my office for months, forced to run this company like a crime ring rather than a business.
You trapped yourself in your office?
What? No, you dumbass! Hector has always been the underdog, but when I inherited the company along with my brother, we hoped to make this company really shine. And then Zulfikar came along and completely monopolized the entire weapon industry. I tried to save the company, but my brother didn't appreciate my methods. So what if I enslaved a species of primitive lizards?
I don't see how that led you being trapped in an office.
I'm getting there, relax. After he left the company... Okay, well, I kind of forced him out, but that's not the point. Things went downhill. I couldn't keep my investors paid. One by one, they left. Soon, only some grease stain named Tony Sr. and that bastard Vale was left. That handsome son of a that son of a bitch.
Wait, do you mean the Vale, leader of the Syndicate?
The one in charge of all mercenaries in the galaxy? Yeah, that one. Oh, and by the way, might be important to mention that by entering this facility, you've set off an alarm, and now he's probably going to send an assassin. There's a lot of S's there, not as many A's as I expected. An assassin to come kill us both. Fair warning and all that.
Well, let's get the hell out of here. As you're hurrying out of the office, you stop to notice a second ship has landed next to yours. A massive stealth-like vessel, and next to it, ours is a massive stealth vessel, so it must be pretty similar. And next to it is a human, dressed in a painted MFK uniform.
Nice ship you got there, partner. Now hand over the slug and no one gets hurt.
Who the hell are you? The Angelic Deathbringer. That's a crazy kind of ship we've never seen before. Right, Desari? I thought there were more A's in there. Who the hell are you? The man paused as if contemplating how to respond.
Name's Taurus, one of Vale's enforcers. Folks like you call us the Angels of Death. Ain't that fitting?
He turns his attention to Billy.
Now, Bilster,
Your time's up. Vale's tired of your malarkey. You oughta know by now, when you mess with men like him, you better keep your promises. He turns back to us. Now, last time I'm gonna ask. Hand over the slug, and we can all walk away like nothing happened.
Well, we're obviously not going to go along with that. We have a fun slug and a cool ship to fight. Is it going to kill us? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But let's refuse and find out how this is going to go.
Ain't that sweet? I was hoping you'd refuse. You got one sweet bounty on your skull, and I'd love to cash you in.
Taurus smiles menacingly, then dashes back to his ship, whose engines have already powered up. This is going to be a rough one. We got Billy on board, which means we're going to have to swap someone, I guess, before the fight starts? Let's go. Yeah, here he is. Billy, his class's CEO. Incredible. The eccentric, opportunistic, and desperate CEO of Hectar Industries. Inherited slug stats, normal, active ability. Does not enter the box automatically like his employees, but can manually enter his box at any point below 50 HP? What? Heals at half speed from passive sources, but regenerates 10 HP per second while in the box. Cannot leave the box until above 50 HP. I have no idea what that means. I have a feeling we were supposed to find another Hectar Industries slug before now, so that we know what that's supposed to do. I have no idea what that's supposed to do. We're gonna replace Alchemist with him, though, because he's another slug, and he's just a better slug. So, like... yeah, we're going to want that. But what are we going to name him? Since this is our only chance to name him before the fight actually opens up, we need to give him an appropriate name. He could take over as our alchemist, as our merchant here. I feel like alchemist is a decent job for him to take over. I don't really want to name him a shopkeeper or a merchant. I want to try and keep to the D&D classes, and there's not really one of those that really fits that mold. But, the other one is like Wretch. Go more Dark Souls classes. But I think he might just become new Alchemist. Artificer is good, but Artificer's not in Pathfinder, which is why I tried to avoid it earlier. But I'm trying not to reproduce names, so we'll go Artificer here. It is appropriate, and I'll just deal with the fact that it's not a Pathfinder class. Goodbye, Alchemist. Good try. This music is pretty funny, too. Alright, let's get you over to the... come on, get selected. Get to the doors, because I have a feeling we're about to get boarded. They have a overcharging shield drone, which is interesting. They have a boarding drone on the way. They have a big ion stunner, an energy ion also. This is going to be a problem. They have a flak gun, and I don't know what this is. Maybe a bomb launcher of some kind? Mine layer? I'm not entirely sure what that thing is going to be. Now, I think we are going to have to hold the cloaking until this all hits us, because we're going to want to be able to dodge some of this. You guys keep saying his arsenal is mediocre there, Iron, but I don't know if it actually is. This amount of ion can pummel our shields down pretty fast, which means that even the flak alone can do a lot of damage, and this does damage every time it hits our ship. So, they actually have a pretty decent amount of potential damage here. And between the cloak, the boarding, the drones, this is not necessarily going to go easily. I don't know if we even really want to try and fight this thing. It might be better to leave it alone so they don't send another one and punch another hole in us. Especially if they're going to be sending more boarding parties. We're probably going to want to take out the drone control earlier than later. But let's send Bard in there to tank some hits and bring Ranger up in reserve. Okay, they did save up to at least try and fire. No, they didn't. They only fired one shot. I kind of expected they were going to alpha strike us a bit more. There's the other boarders I was worried about, though. That's the thing we're going to have to worry about. So that's partly why I didn't want to focus too much on this fella. Let's get our anti-border team ready to go defend over here instead. There's the ion shots. That one might actually hit us, which wouldn't be great. I don't know what this thing is. I'm trying to dodge it still. You guys can stay in here, because it looks like this is where they're going. No, it's not. Looks like they're firing that now, so let's go ahead and dodge. Yeah, there it goes. Bomb of some kind lands over there. He left the room after being scared off. We need to go defend our... Oh, he's actually going in here. I was gonna say we have to go defend our clone bay, but that's not actually what we're defending at all. You swap with him. And actually, you might need to get out of there, because we don't have a whole lot of firepower in that direction. Weapons are ready to go, so we need to try and hit them pretty fast here. Let's go ahead and fire at the core of their ship. I don't know what I want to hit with the halberd beam is the one problem. And they also have the shield overcharge coming in. I think we're going to need to hit drones, engines, and shields, because weapons are too far away. Oh, we hit nothing. That's pretty bad. Alright, well, let's go ahead and hit drones for 1, and see if we can make it to shields. Hey, that's excellent. Okay. That worked out really well. Now, we are still dealing with borders in here, which is not ideal. But we did manage to take out their drone, so it'll be a little bit more time before they send us another one. I might need to recharge these so we can actually hit them again. If we spam the multiplier too early here, we're not going to hit anything. Okay, they went home, which is actually excellent. They don't have a med bay, so they're unlikely to try and board us again now that they're injured. Unfortunately, our shields are being held down, and I don't have the cloak up, so we are probably going to take some more hits here. They have cloaked. Ooh, yeah, there's some more hull damage on us. You can get in here and help repair this. Let's get our crew back to stations. Oh, I didn't save stations for the rest of you. That's right. You go to here, you go to there, save stations. They have more firepower coming. The bomb missed already, but I think we're going to dodge to try and let our shields regenerate from the ion, because those 2 ion weapons can really keep us locked down. Oh, I went a little too early. Well, at least we're recharged back up to here, so it could be worse. They do seem like they're getting ready to board us again, which is kind of surprising. I guess the crew who were injured are going to stay behind this time. Let's go ahead and try and hit them and see if we can't make our lives a little bit easier with the halberd this time. Yes, okay, good hit. Let's go ahead and take out these systems, and hopefully that will prevent them from wanting to leave by killing them. Taurus's ship explodes, plummeting into the ground. You pilot closer and scrap the wreckage, getting 3 fuel, 2 missiles, a drone part, and 50 scrap. That could have been nasty, but we managed it pretty good there, I think. What is this? Okay, with Billy now safe, you take one last trip past the wreckage. To your surprise, you dig out what appears to be a highly advanced weapon, powered by bizarrely foreign yet similar tech. You aren't sure where it's from, but you'll take it. Billy also has a team come in to scan the ship and retrieve its blueprint, which will make a fine addition to your hangar. So we have a lance beam now. We're probably going to use that. And we also stole their ship, which seems really fun. Billy seems to be making himself comfortable in your ship's lounge. I think now's as good a time as any for old Billy to take a relaxing vacation from all this chaos. And taxes. Say, stranger, where you headed? We're off to save all of reality from the interdimensional rebellion. Interdimensional heroes probably don't pay their taxes, do they? Haha, baby, no more taxes, here I come. Oh, saving reality is cool too, I guess. One last thing, what about our debt? Right, yeah, I can take care of that. Fair's fair. You know, it might be a good idea to let everyone here go now. This would be a PR disaster if it ever got out. Well, our very first jump, we found Billy Mays himself, and a lance beam and a new ship. It's a 3-power beam, so it's the same as the halberd. 18 seconds, so it's a little slower. Beam length is longer, speed's the same. Hull damage and system damage also the same. Crew damage the same, but it has 1 point of shield piercing. And it can start fires. Huh. It is basically the same beam we've got already, but I'll use it. The shield piercing is not insignificant here. That's probably the biggest element of this, is it actually skips a shield layer. So that's still pretty good. We'll take it. It looks way more aggressive than it actually otherwise seems. Oh, the length is way longer? It's 15 longer. That's notable too. That's notable too. It is longer. All right. And the nice part, probably the best part, honestly, about this thing is it has the same cost as the beam we were already using. So it's basically just a direct upgrade in a couple of different factors, which seems pretty fun. Also, since we've got it, we're going to install an internal upgrade that I don't know if I have done early enough in past runs. We're going to hit the runic translator turned on. Allows partial translation of ancient runes. Gives us 10 scrap and 1 drone part cost. And I don't know what it does, but now we have it, just in case. Looks like a modified glaive, not halberd. I mean, yeah, it could potentially be based on the on the glaive, but I thought the glaive was more expensive. Because the halberd has the same cost. So it's a little bit more charge time in exchange for a little bit more length and a shield pierce. So, I don't know. Either way, we're going to give it a try and see how it goes for us. We've got 97 scrap left to spend, and I don't know if I need to save it all now that we've got Billy Hayes on our ship here. But there are a bunch of stores around. I should probably hold on to some of our money in case we want to use any of it. And now that we have this new fancy laser, I can sell the old one too. So we should at least go to the first store we find and sell some junk. An over-enthusiastic employee of Hector greets you. It's the same one we've seen before, so we're just going to go shopping and see what they got. I assume they have the same kind of shopping options that we've seen elsewhere. Yeah. Accuracy mod, 20% accuracy or 100% accuracy on missiles. The neural mod we've seen before. Missiles not that exciting. Those upgrades we've seen before. Pike beam, conservative bomb, fire starter. Not that exciting. We're going to go ahead and sell our old halberd beam, and I think I might sell the particle accelerator too. Between the chain anti-hull, the modular laser, the multiplier, and the lance beam, I don't know if I actually want this in our arsenal anymore. So I'm going to dump it, and we'll save the inventory space in case we need to buy other modular parts or anything else. Plus, it's a nice little bit of money in the pocket, too, so that doesn't go too far off. With that said, the onboard lab, how much does this cost? The onboard lab can use to install upgrades for our crew. That gets us 3 fuel, 2 missiles, 3 drone parts, and 30 scrap worth of cost. The scrap's not that expensive. I'm a little concerned about the fuel costs, but I can just buy more because I'm at a shop. And I think it could be useful because we have a couple of slugs and a couple of Zoltan and a couple of leeches here. So if we find upgrades that are going to be good for them, we could actually get some actual visible benefit on these. So I think we're going to install the lab. Before I do anything else and forget, I'm going to come back here and buy a couple of extra fuel. And let's go see what is our lab options. So leeches. Burrows means that they move really fast and ignore doors. I don't think that matters. It might be nice for dealing with borders if they have hacked our doors, but let's see what the other options are. We have high voltage. They provide bonus power in the occupied system of our ship, but they get stunned longer and they take fire and suffocation damage. So they basically become a Zoltan. They become an electric eel. That might be nice, but like right now they're not. I'm not using them to power systems. I'm just using them to run around and fight borders. Parasitical dependencies. They have minus 60 max health and 4 times less damage by default, but they steal 3 health per second from enemy non-leech crew in the room. That gives them like 30 total health? You get shot by 1 missile, it's a dead leech. I mean, we have the clone base, so it's not the end of the world, but like, I don't know if that's actually gonna work. I guess the question is, does 3 HP per second actually add up enough that it'll counteract them getting shot? Because if they're supposed to be anti-borders, I don't know if that's gonna help us. It might. I just don't know. Let's take a look at our other options here. For the slugs, we have neuron pathing, which is the stun resistance and no skill loss from cloning. I don't think we really need that. Neural redirection. They get more combat damage, sabotage, and repair speed. I might actually need that one, because we do need to be able to fight. And telepathic synergies is right. And an allied crew in the same room as a slug are mind control immune. That one's probably not the choice here because of the way that we have our slugs spread out. But I think if we go ahead and grab neural redirection, that will just be better for us. 25% boost to all of our core abilities, 30 scrap and 1 drone part seems like a good price to pay. Install the modification. Done. Now, Zoltan, what are your options? Overclocking. Minus 40% max health, but passive power bonus is doubled. That's pretty cool. That's basically 2 full shield bars here, just from having 2 Zoltan in the room. They're extra fragile, because they only have 75 health to begin with. But we do have a med bay, clone bay rather. The only thing I'm worried about here is just that like 1 missile to the shields not only breaks the system, but also drains all the power we're using for it. It's a little risk-reward. Zoltan upgrade number 2, hard light shielding. Shield themselves and other allied crew or drones in the room, making them take half damage from crew combat, but ignore enemy crew, opting instead to repair or sabotage in their presence. That's interesting, but because they're only going to be in the shields, I don't know if that's really going to help us. We're not going to be running them around the ship to do boarding or boosting our other combat teams. What's the last one? Emitter calibration. Recover 2.5 health per second if unharmed for 5 seconds, but no longer heal from other residual healing sources. Regeneration would be nice for them, but I think, honestly, I kind of want to just try the overclocking. But it costs so much fuel! That's the problem. 6 fuel's a lot. Good thing there's a bunch of stores in this sector, I guess? Spiritual abandonment? Does this just let them fight? Your monks can fight, but only at half damage. That's silly. Alright. I think we're going to go ahead and take the Zoltan overclocking, because I want to see how much juice you can get out of some Zoltans then. Here we go. 35 scrap, 6 fuel cost. Done. That's so much power. Alright, these guys are going to be so fragile now, but hopefully it'll work out. Hey, Allie. And I think that's probably going to be the only other thing we're going to upgrade here. I never did do our leech upgrade, and I don't really know which one I want. I might just take burrows for the movement speed, and so they can't get locked out or locked into rooms. It doesn't seem super relevant for us at the moment. But like high voltage, we don't really need. We already have super Zoltan power, and parasitical dependencies could be good if you had a bunch of leeches, but we only have 2. I don't think it's quite enough, so just for the sake of doing it, let's give them the ability to burrow so they can move faster and through walls now, which should help deal with boarding parties. There we go. Okay, that's a bunch of upgrades done and all of our money spent. Let's keep jumping. We're gonna go check out this distress beacon, and hopefully in the process of jumping over to here, we'll get a bit of money to spend at the next store and buy our other supplies. We'll do 1, 2, 3 jumps, I think. Just to try and get as much value out of this as we can. A Hektar ship and Zoltan vessel look to be in some kind of standoff, arguing over trademarks. You can't seem to glean any more insight on their argument, other than that it seems very heated. Well, we can help the Hektar ship or help the Zoltan. We have Billy and Maze on board, which I feel like should be relevant. But apparently no. Having the CEO of the Hektar, they don't care about chipping into this. Let's help the Hektar ship. Why not? I don't think it makes a huge difference who we help here, but we have the CEO on board. We engage the Zoltan ship. Let's do nothing. They did mind control our gunner, which is annoying, but because our systems take 60% reduced damage and an NG does 50% damage, I don't care how upgraded that mind control is, you are not doing meaningful damage to this system. So they don't have boarding, which means they're just teleporting around their own ship, so we don't have to worry about that sound. We're gonna go ahead and auto-fire this at them to take down the Zoltan shield. Once it gets through, we'll probably need to charge up again so we can actually hurt them. I don't know how piercing these shots are, but I don't really want to find out, so we're gonna go ahead and cloak that. I might have to go send someone in here to stop them from hurting us. They are actually chipping away enough that it might matter. For now, though, let's just pummel shields. Pummel shields. And lance beam... where? Let's lance beam... oh, they do have a teleporter. Have they boarded us and I just don't know? I didn't hear it sounding like they did, but they might have. Let's go ahead and beam them. Very good. They did board us. PDTM, the Zoltan. We don't like that. Alright, team, get in there and stop them. You guys are fast, so you should be able to get in there before they can do any real damage to it. Good choice. We've also locked down the shields, which is kind of fun. And the fact that they have one shield bubble here doesn't matter because of the way that the lance beam works, so that's fun. We have regained mental control of our crew, so let's send them back to their stations. And they're dead already. Good work, team. The Zoltan ship has been defeated. We scrap the remains, getting a fuel, drone part, and 39 scrap, and we contact the slugs. They say,
Ha! Those dumbass Zoltans thought they were so clever coming in here saying nonsense like, oh, you just can't say you trademarked something. You have to actually go through a legal process. What malarkey. Anyways, here's some garbage or something. I don't know.
missile, drone part, 38 scrap. You'll love it. As we suspected, the slugs were definitely in the wrong, but hey, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta blow some people up. We have two energy bars rather, left to maneuver around. I should put them somewhere, so I'm not just wasting the power we got from turbocharging our Zoltan. But what else do we want to buy? We're gonna save our money in case we go to the store and they have something cool in it, but I don't know what I'm saving up for. Probably door upgrades and maybe some other like quality of life ones, like boosting our helm. For now though, let's jump over to the stress beacon and see what they got.
Stranger, welcome to my beacon.
You jump thinking you've somehow found Sylvan yet again, but instead it seems this is just another Hector employee, not the infamous traveling merchant. Why are you pretending to be Sylvan?
Well, Sylvan is my hero. He's so cool and hot. I wish I was that cool and hot. Pardon the oxymoron.
We say, do you sell things too? Or, you're not quite up to his level, shield and weaponry-wise. You've only got 4 shields, not 7. You've only got 4 guns, not 6. Let's insult him. Why not? You're not quite up to his level, shield and weaponry-wise.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how he managed this. Every time I try to install that many shields, I just get an obnoxious beep like I've hit a hard-coded limit or something.
Offer him some scrap to spruce up his ship? Why would we do that? We can ask him if he sells things too, but like, is there a reason we think that would be a good thing to do? I don't know. I don't think so. I think... yeah, maybe he comes to your rescue later on. I don't think so, though. I think this is just a bad idea. Like, we could try it. We have money to spare. Our ship's in pretty good. It's new, right? I think Starlight's got the real point here. I don't know is a hell of a reason to try. I think it's probably just wrong. But this game has so many hidden things in it. Who knows? Maybe he'll give us a sector map to his Sylvan fan site. Let's offer him some scrap to spruce up his ship and see what he does. It's just really expensive.
That's quite generous, stranger. I mean, thanks. Oh man, I don't have anything to give. Wait, no, I do! This is very valuable to me, but I'm sure you'll get a lot more use out of it than me. Please take good care of it, though.
Did we just get the Gatling gun we made last time? The Riftwaker Mark .5? Is that the Gatling gun? A recreation of Sylvan's famous Riftwaker Gatling gun using a chain Vulcan. 3 power... 10-second charge time, but it reduces by about 2 seconds per shot. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Why not? I need a bit more energy to actually bring it online effectively, but we can swap the mod laser off for now and bring it online. It's not quite as ridiculous as the other one, because the other one was like a 32-second charge time, and then it had half a second. This one has to actually Vulcan its way down every time it shoots, but will still get ridiculous. So let's take it, and it starts at only 6.7 seconds, which is already pretty fast. So let's keep rolling. That was probably worth it. It's pretty strong. Let's jump to the distress beacon here and see what they've got. The distress call appears to originate from a ship lost in the clouds.
Please, help us. We're in debt to Hector, but our chances of paying it off are hopeless. Is there anything you can spare us?
Unfortunately, no. We're not going to kill them. They're just a militia crew. We don't want to blow them up. But we can't help. We just gave all our money to somebody for a big gun. Unfortunately, the civilians will have to rely on other means to save themselves. Knowing how this sector's a giant trap, it's unlikely they'll find any other vessel willing to help. What are our do something on board the ship options? It's just repair the hull, huh? We can use drone parts, though, which is not bad. That would basically repair us to full for 7 drone parts. Yeah. I mean, we could also repair ourselves to full with bombs instead, but I'm not using drone parts for anything, so it might as well. It's far from efficient, but if it'll carry you to the next sector or store, it's all worth it. Why not? Alright, we have no money. This is exactly what I was worried about. We got to a store and did not pick up any cash. Looks like a Hector representative is orbiting a nearby marketplace, painted a gash again, I hate this, garish shade of neon yellow, which stands out from miles away. We could try to fight them, but we're not trying to make enemies with the Hector team here. Let's see what they've got. I don't think they've got anything we want. The only question here is, what am I gonna sell? Because we can sell the multiplier. It's pretty powerful, though. So, do I keep it, or do I get rid of one of the other weapons that we have instead? Because we can only run 8 bars worth of weapons, so at most, right now, we could use the Lance, the Walker, and the Mod Laser. Or the Chain Anti-Hull and another 1-power gun. We could use the multiplier instead, but honestly, I don't know. I think if we're going to have to wait for this thing to get up to speed anyway, having a little bit of early burst probably doesn't make a huge difference, and we already have this that's going to be firing early. I think it's going to be fine. The multiplier had its uses. It's quite good early on, but I think it is going to be something we're going to drop off here. Because the fact that this is 1 power doesn't matter anymore. We could actually sell both of these if we don't think that they're going to be usable, because this is basically our effective equipment load. We could pop the repair burst up here, so it's available if we want to try and do ship repairs. But if we're running the Riftwaker Mark 0.5 and the Lance Beam, we only have 2 power to play with. Yeah, the Chain Anti-Hull seems like it'd be really good. We just really didn't get a chance to put it to work. And the multiplier has been excellent for us, but I think it's had its time. We're going to sell it off as well. Now, what do we have in here? We have a power mod and a fire starter mod. I don't think I want those. Drones and a modular ion. We'll leave that as well. Potentially, we could try and get another system here. Hacking or mind control are very good. I just don't know which one I want. I'm going to save the money for now in case there's more events in here which need cash, because it would not surprise me in the least. How many jumps have we got left here? We are going to have about 5-6 jumps before we get to the end. So if we go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we can probably decide how we want to do it as effectively as possible. And we avoid going to any more stores. This one will be full speed, but the rest ones I think are all in the nebula, so they'll all be slowed down. Let's go check it out and see what they got. We're on a planet again. At first, this beacon seems rather unassuming until you spot the massive spherical shipyard hovering above the ground. Upon further inspection, beneath it appears to be a rural village of some sort, definitely not one of a spacefaring species at least. The village below is bustling with what looks to be lizard creatures. You've noticed these guys working aboard Hectar ships before, but with an educated guess you can assume this is where they live. Very strange, but as you approach the shipyard it becomes apparent there's more here than you first observed. An orange spectacled lizard with a suit and backwards tie is screaming into a megaphone trying to calm down a crowd of irate lizards with picket signs and armed weapons. Let's speak to the manager. You land your ship nearby, unnoticed by the crowd. The lizard in charge turns to you, while you catch shouts of "Traitor!" and more offensive terms being hurled towards them.
Yes, hello. I am Metyunt, manager of this facility and caretaker of the lizard population. Workforce. Yes, that's the word.
Metyunt pushes the glasses back up onto his face, unfazed while a flaming stone is thrown nearby and some lizard rioters tear apart a Hectar ship in the background. You also notice a very large slug ship hovering above the crowd. It's not firing yet, but you suspect if the crowd pushes things too far, this is their plan to suppress it. I assume a tie being backwards just means that, like, the front of the tie is facing in. The like, back of the tie is facing out. Your workforce doesn't seem too happy. Metyunt seems slightly uncomfortable.
Yes, I am glad to see you are not, in fact, blind. These riots are common, but what can you do? They call me a traitor because I sold out my own species to a corporation, but look at it this way. It's paid labor and they signed the contracts. We were living in squalor, but our Queen Chief Thek and her council thought it wise to make some trade agreements with Hector after we were approached by two slugs with a deal. I'm just the mediator. We're better off with this path anyways. Hector supplies our species with weapons and armaments, and we supply them with work. If we didn't arrange this, then soon enough we'd be either forced to migrate to some wasteland planet by a ministry contractor looking to build a new law school, or left for dead when the rebels come calling.
Metyunt reaches for the bottle of eye drops and drips them into his eye, then ducks as some alien fruit comes whirling by.
I'm doing my best to keep the working conditions fair and orderly, but they just can't see that. I need them to open their eye, because if it weren't for me, Hector would be a hell of a lot crueler.
Metyunt makes a sideways glance up at the ship above you both. So we have the option to say this doesn't sound like helping your species, or they're just blind and you're right. Obviously, stay uninvolved is not the right answer. I don't know what is going to be the right answer, though. The Hectar Loyalty Assurance ship is a funny class. So, I assume this will be some kind of either get a special crew or maybe get a special cruiser. This is a high-level threat special ship. But I don't know which one we want to do. Do we side with him or do we not? Because if we say this doesn't sound like helping your species, I have a feeling that we're going to have these guys attack. It'll basically trigger the riots to get worse, and this'll attack. We have to fight it off. But what's the difference? If we side with him instead, what's likely to happen? We can calm the crowds down, probably, but, I think we are, because realistically, I have a feeling that if we cause the rebellion here, a lot of people are probably going to get murdered, but we don't really care about that too much. We're here to fight the bad guys, and these guys are definitely enslaving the lizards. Let's side with the people here, which is probably going to cause problems for them in the long run, but might help us in the immediate turn. That doesn't sound like helping your species.
Well, I'm sorry if you don't agree, but as I may remind you, you're in debt to the Hector Corporation.
Actually, I'm not. I have Billy Hayes here.
So I'm not inclined to take advice from you. I suggest you leave. I have enough to handle at the present moment.
Metyant only barely finishes his sentence when an explosion sends you all flying forward as one of the rioters accidentally sets off an explosive charge on one of the ships stored in the hangar. The Hektar officers watching spring into action, and Metyant follows behind them, latching onto the one in charge and trying to stop him from giving the order to fire. The slug grabs the lizard by the tail and flings Metyant away. How small is this lizard? Then orders the vessel above to fire on the crowd. The lizards scatter as lasers pelt them from above. If you're gonna get involved, now's the time to do so. Time to help the crowd. I feel like we could just solve this problem. We have the CEO here. We could just tell them not to do that. But no, we'll go protect the crowd. It's fine. Protect the crowd. We rush back to our ship as quickly as possible and return to the hangar to fight the vessel. They got, like, special coats here. Is this the Hektar employee version that we haven't seen yet, where they go into a box or something? Hektar employee. When at low health, hides in a box, taking only 10% of damage from crew combat, but can't do anything but move until healed back to half health. Weird. So that does explain it, because Billy Hayes has a special version of that ability. These guys will be boarding us. They got a big... Oh, they're all mod weapons! That's cute! They are actually using modded weapons. I don't know what this particular arrangement of mod weapons actually does, because it's impossible for us to know at a glance with these, but that is cute. Let's just start... Oh, it is also a spread weapon. I didn't notice that, but that makes sense. They like doing that with their Gatling weapons. Let's get the team over here to deal with the boarders. There we go. So this could be literally anything and could be a big problem. There's not a huge way for us to know exactly what they can do. That's a lot of lasers, though. Let's just save the dodging for the... Whoa, they did get through, unfortunately. That is pretty bad, actually. Okay, let's take you off weapons. Go put the fire in the clone bay out. We might need that. The rocket is fired, so we're going to stop auto-firing. Dodge. Our slug is taking damage. What do I want to do with you? I think we just take you out of combat for a minute. There we go, that's repaired. Let's get you back in here. Let's keep firing the Riftwaker now. Is this worth it? I think it probably is. Get you out of the room. I could repair bomb my systems if I care that much about repairing them, but I think they'll be fine. I just don't want to get my people overrun too fast. The guy in the box teleports home, which is pretty funny. They do have a med bay, so he can actually be healed. The Riftwaker's almost at full speed. Let's get our crew back in there to really beef it up. These guys are healing automatically, which is why we're having them sit outside the oxygen. Looks like the Riftwaker is just about at full speed now. So this should pummel down their shields pretty fast. They have the big laser barrage coming, but we're about to hit them pretty hard too. So, let's fry them through all systems. Lovely. Now their beam is about to hit us, because that's just how the timing works on this. Get the team back in here. We might be able to get 2 shield bars up before they hit. Yeah! Perfect timing! You love to see it. Alright, these guys are dead. They just don't know it yet. Alright. The Hektar ship has been defeated. Maybe you should feel guilty, considering they were just employees following orders, but you don't feel any sympathy whatsoever. 47 scrap and a Fauchard beam. With the ship out of the way, you return to the shipyard. During the battle, the rioters seem to have taken control of a large portion of the hangar, but the remaining Hektar staff are pushing back. This could end in even more bloodshed if you don't step in. Well, let's convince Metyant to talk them into standing down. This just seems like the obvious wrong choice, so let's try this. You call out Metyant. You call out to Metyant, appealing to him to defuse the situation. He falters at first, but calls out to Hektar, demanding they stand down. They refuse at first, but once Metyunt threatens to get Billy involved, they stand. Billy's here! This quest feels like it should have some custom options for Billy. Come on. One sector is cleared out, the lizards swarm the rest of the place and capture Metyunt while cheering for your crew. All that seems in question now is the fate of Metyunt. Does he deserve a second chance? Or has he's had his chance? I think he still deserves a second chance, right? I have a feeling, because like honestly, it doesn't really matter if things go bad for our crew. We have a clone bag, so like anyone who dies in an event doesn't matter. I think he's probably gonna want to try and come with us if we get him to calm down. So we'll get a cool, unique crew. I don't know what it is. If we say he's had his chance, I don't think that's gonna work very well for us. Let's leave him a second chance. Everyone deserves a second chance unless they're a slaver, or they're a pirate, or they're a smuggler, or they're a rebel. So like, a lot of people get taken out. I want to see what he is though. If he is a cool, unique crew, then that's perfectly good. Let's see he deserves a second chance. The lizards groan, but they aren't going to question you after how much you helped them. Metyunt seems shocked he hasn't been torn limb from limb yet.
Well, why did you spare me? Second chances? My kind doesn't believe in those, but I guess I'm too far displaced from our traditions to care.
It's obvious the lizards don't want Metyunt around. You offer to drop him off somewhere else in the sector, but he declines.
I'm afraid it's best if I find a different occupation. Hector will have to make do without my help, because I'm done. I guess I'll stick with you now. Oh, and before we go, let me repay you.
Instead of immediately stepping on your ship, however, Metyunt wiggles his arm awkwardly and mumbles some incoherent words. You stare at him, and he stares back in silence. What was that?
Oh, the door open song. I think it's a lizard thing. A request for entry or whatever. Just say yes, and let's get it over with.
Metyunt, the manager, the quite unpopular traitor to his own lizard kind. However, he has no time to worry about that. He must meet his quota. Inherited lizard stat, so I guess lizard is just a normal race here, somehow. He regenerates if unharmed. An active ability temporarily doubles their repair and sabotage speed, but lowers max health. Nearby allies also gain the effects. Passively produces 50% fire resistance to all other allied crew in the same room. 135 max health, 1.5 times movement speed. That's a cool looking unique crew. Let's take him on board.
Right. Sorry about that. Just some dumb tradition. You know how those things are. Or maybe you don't. We only just met.
Well, yeah, Lizard, get on board this team. I don't know who we're gonna dump for you. Maybe we'll dump Wizard? Who do we get rid of here? I kind of want to keep an NG, because it is nice having someone with super repair speed who already has max weapon skill. But, our pilot is already max piloting, so I don't really want to drop them. We already dropped our spare slug for Billy Hayes here. Billy Hector? I can't remember what his last name actually is. We have the two leeches, which are optional, really. We could swap one of them out, but they are pretty good at fighting. Our two Zoltans we're not getting rid of, because they're giving us a lot of power. So the question really here is just, is it the wizard, or is it one of the leeches? Metyunt here doesn't actually have any real combat ability. He does kind of look like he's got a wizard hat and beard on as if he's just upside down. The problem with Wizard being dumped is he's our like engines guy. So he's really good at that. We don't really have him loose to run around to do things like we want with Metyunt. I think we have to drop one of our leeches. He has the health regeneration like leeches do too, so like he kind of can serve the same purpose. I think we're gonna drop a leech for him, even though it's a little sad. We just upgraded our leeches, but just being able to use him in combat, have the extra health. He still has the movement speed they do. He has the health regeneration. I think he's just a better version of the leeches for our purposes, because their ability to drain power from enemy systems does not matter and is actually kind of a downside for us. So let's drop rid of our bard. He was never any good at music anyway. Actually, which one is better trained? This one has combat training, which is what we want. This one has repair training, which is pretty good, but the combat training is what we want. So I'm gonna drop the bard. And now we have a lizard. What is the fantasy class of this lizard? He's kind of tanky. He buffs his allies. This seems to me like he's a perfect paladin. Because he helps his friends nearby not get hurt. He can, like, encourage his allies. He's tanky. He has self-healing. Seems like a good choice to me. Paladin it is. Oh, I forgot those guys were still on board the ship, huh? I guess we'll finish killing them slowly. They take very little damage now, but they do still take damage. An Oathbreaker Paladin. Exactly. There you go. The Pathfinder versions of Paladin don't have the, like, Oathbreaker subclass situation going on, but they do have anti-Paladins existing as just Paladins of evil gods. Let's set our crew back to their stations, and I guess our Paladin is going to chill here in the middle of the ship so he can get around easily if we need to go deal with problems. So, that's pretty cool. We got another ship on lock, another unique crew. I guess we head over here to the distress beacon. See what it has in store for us. I guess we still hold on to our money, too. I don't, we could buy our other weapon one as well. Is this add-on on Steam? This is a mod that you can download from the FTL forums. I don't believe it's directly built into the Steam, but once you have it installed, it's just on the Steam launcher. So, definitely worth taking a look at if you're interested in Multiverse. The thing I'm debating buying here is buying this weapon control upgrade so I can bring our other mod laser online, and I think I'm going to do that. I'd like to save the money in case we need it to help people, but I also want a big gun. You know? It's a real dilemma. Let's save it at least until we do the distress beacon, because they're the people who are most likely to be stuck here needing money. So let's save that for a little longer and see what they want, and then we'll buy the big gun. This beacon hosts a Hector transport. It's safe to bet the ship is most likely carrying modular tech. If you can kill its crew, their cargo will be yours. I guess we're just pirates now. This is just overtly piracy. Let's demand the surrender of their goods. Billy Hayes is here. He should help us get the goods from them. No, that didn't do that. It wasn't a conversation, we just attacked them. Okay, they don't want to fight, they're trying to escape. We definitely can't stop them from escaping. These weapons are way too slow for that. So I guess we're just gonna watch them leave. They are gonna teleport crew over here, though. I guess they really don't like those guys. Doors are such a pain. Clicking them accidentally is not what I had in mind. We have more Hector employees, so you can guarantee they are going in a box. But yeah, the odds that we can actually stop these guys is basically none. Their FTL is probably going to be charged in like 2 or 3 more weeks. Oh! Yeah, definitely not going to be able to do it now. I did not see that coming. Otherwise, we would have cloaked it out. That's a nasty shot. A lockdown and fire blast? I was watching the fight, I didn't see them fire the missile. That's mean. We should be fine here, they can put the fire out pretty fast. Yeah, we got it, but like, ow! Unfortunately, our Riftwaker's no longer charging, so we are guaranteed to not win this fight. So I think we're just gonna let them leave, and then we will deal with it later. It did fire again, though, so we're gonna cloak this time, so they don't get to hit us again for that big, nasty blast. Let's get some backup crew in here for repairs. They're about to leave, but I'm not about to jump out first without repairing our weapons and systems. Alright, so it goes. You can't win them all, and I was not paying attention to that rocket, because we probably could have taken them. The Riftwaker was almost up to speed there, but once the missile took out our entire weapons, that was not going to work. Was not going to work. Let's go to the distress beacon and see what they got for us. We see the distress call at this beacon, but see no ship in distress. Instead, a lizard piloting a cargo ship hails you. What's with the distress beacon?
I am in distress! Oh, horrible, horrible! Not the kind of distress you're thinking of. No, I'm in despair. I think I'm having a mental breakdown. What is life? All I know is work. All I do is work. I know nothing but work. Is there more to life but an endless cycle of work?
So we can say, no, you either work or you become obsolete. Or say, yes, work hard enough and eventually you'll be free from the cycle. Or we say, I'm not a philosopher. I mean, I don't agree with either of these statements. You work hard enough, you'll be able to improve your quality of life while continuing to work. That's how capitalism works. And no, you either work or become obsolete. I don't know about that either. You either work or you have nothing to go get by with. So, neither of these statements I 100% agree with. But I don't know what I want to tell him. Let's just encourage him. He wants to believe that there's more to life than work. Let's reassure him. Yes, work hard enough and eventually you'll be free from the cycle.
You mean there's freedom? The metaphorical pot of gold at the end of the metaphorical rainbow? Then I shall seek that gold. You've given me hope. Thank you, Captain.
Lizard offers you a drone from the cargo. You might regret doing that. The company might not like you just gave us away a fancy drone, but sure. What does an amp energy drone do? Current power 2. Standard amp drone that fires energy projectiles. Oh, energy projectiles. Right, so it's an ion drone that also does hull damage if it hits directly. Okay, we can sell that later. We never checked what this did either. The Fauchard beam is a terrifying radiation beam capable of shredding shipboard systems in addition to crew. So it's system damage and crew damage. Cool. We'll sell that one also. Alright, well, we don't need the money, so let's put it into the weapons so we can turn the weapons on now. If we take an extra power out of these two, we can pop the mod laser on, and now our arsenal is ready to go. The thing that really got me earlier that I should have done is I should have just repair bombed my weapons. it does 8 system repair. I could just fix it. I forgot, but I could have just fixed it. The real problem is that because the weapon turned off, it reset the cooldown, so it probably wouldn't have mattered anyway. It would have taken too long for it to wind back up a second time. But, like, I could have tried. Alright, let's keep jumping. What is this? This is... Oh, moving it left doesn't matter. It doesn't actually take power. So as long as the system is powered, it should always be online. We are going to jump, though. It's an ion storm. I don't really want to go to an ion storm, but I don't want to waste like 3 extra jumps. Although realistically, I can kind of only get 2 extra jumps, can't I? Because if I go here, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3? No, that's fine. That should be enough. All right. Let's go to this unvisited ion storm and regret our life choices. This beacon appears to be covered in an ion storm. However, the lightning here appears to be striking in unusual patterns. An orchid ship is nearby as well, observing the clouds. Orchids? What are you guys doing here? Let's hail them.
Oh, hello! I'm Professor Ethan, a nebula biologist. You wouldn't believe the kinds of strange creatures these nebulas host. Unfortunately, it looks like Hector's power-generating facilities are manufacturing synthetic ion storms, which is very deadly for these creatures. I've already found 3 or so dead space whales, and this cannot be allowed to continue. Could you try and talk to the manager of the nearby power plant?
Sure, we have the CEO! Talk to the power plant. It looks like the facility in question has several massive Tesla coils protruding from it, feeding off the storm. The manager of the facility doesn't seem too receptive to the Orchid's message.
Bah! Who cares about some stupid space whale? Anaerobes are lame. Just breathe oxygen, you losers.
Do we attack the Orchids? Do we attack the facility? Or do we give up? Well, I guess we try and save the whales? Who knows if the space whales will do anything fun for us, but like... I feel like they've actually done a pretty good job in a bunch of the other quests that we've had of using the unique characters that you can find to do interesting things. But the CEO here is surprisingly unhelpful in all of these missions involving his company. But let's blow them up, who cares? We're about to leave this place, attack the facility. If this guy won't listen to logic, then he'll have to listen to the sound of our guns. Alright, let's do nothing and prepare to fight. They have 2 bars of shields, and I think that means we're just going to turn off... Well... Turn off our oxygen for now? Turn on the mod laser. Yeah. You get the Tony Hawk reference where just nobody knows who this guy is, so no one respects him properly. Alright. Let's send our regenerative people in to deal with the boarders. They can handle themselves, I'm sure. Once our weapons are online, we should be able to pummel them hard enough that they won't be able to do anything about it. But if that rocket does fire faster than we can, then we may have to adapt and switch some power into cloaking. Let's hit the shields here, though. I think this is the right timing. There goes the rocket. We can try and dodge, but if our engines are low like this, it is going to be tricky. Let's pull the power out of shields for now, put it into engines. I want to cloak. There we go. I want to cloak after we fire the beam so it doesn't immediately burn our evasion time. I think we're going to hit those rooms for now. And we cloak. We might still get hit. We did still get hit. 95% evasion is not good enough sometimes. Alright, 1 slug back in the box. 2nd slug, let's swap you 2. Back home, nice, easy peasy. Back to your stations, team. Let's power up the oxygen a little bit so you can breathe. Let's not auto-fire the Lance. The mod laser is just about ready to fire. I think they just shot another rocket at us, which is not very nice. Yeah, there goes our cloning. Let's just test this. I haven't fired one of these before. And incidentally, while I'm testing this, let's blow up these enemies. Yeah, it does in fact do system repair and hull repair. Very nice. And that Hector guard is destroyed. The power plant's guard has been defeated. The power plant surrenders to you. 2 fuel, 1 drone part, 35 scrap. We contact Ethan.
Marvelous work! I cannot thank you enough! I guess my work here is done. Unfortunately, I'm kind of stuck here. You know, massive debt and all that. Mind helping escort me out of this place?
I don't think we can take you, Ethan. Sorry, bud. I think we're dumping you again. They have weapon skill, but like that's the easiest. I mean, it's not the easiest skill. It was the easiest for us when we had the Gatling flak earlier. But I think we're just gonna dump them. I don't think we have room for them on our ship. They don't really fill any niche that I want instead of somebody else. They do buff our healing, repair speed, and max health, but like, I don't really need that. I think we're just gonna get rid of them. Sorry, Ethan. Our crew's looking pretty good right now, and we don't really have room for people like yourself joining in. Oh, it's auto-firing the repair bomb. Let's stop that so we don't waste any more bombs. The healing's nice, though. We only have 5 fuel left, which is a bit of a problem. Let's jump here and then exit and then see what happens. If we could go to the store to get the fuel, I would, but we can't reasonably get there. The fuel problem may be an issue, though. A civilian ship is here, wandering through the clouds, lost and afraid. Their captain perks up when he sees you.
The Federation's arrived! I thought we'd be trapped here forever, indebted to these slugs.
These slugs bastards? These slug bastards. Confess the truth. The Federation has no idea about this place. Lie. Promise them the Federation has arrived to help. I think we're going to tell the truth. That's not going to make them happy, but the Federation has no idea about this place. Yet, I mean, that's the thing. This is a weird way to say it. The truth is the Federation has no idea, but like, we're going to the Federation HQ. We're going to tell them. we have the coordinates. We can tell them. This is wrong. The Federation hasn't arrived to help, but like, this is also wrong. Whatever. We're gonna say the truth this time. No hope for these people.
But you are a Federation ship, right? That means you can do something. You can tell them about here. But to do that, you'll have to make it out of here alive. Let me see if I can help with that.
The civilian ship patches up some of the damage to your hull. Hey, nice. He's correct. We are a Federation ship, and we will almost certainly tell them where we were, so hopefully he will get what he needed. Let's jump to the exit. We are worryingly low on fuel. We finally found the exit to this dreadful sector. You're stopped before you can leave by a massive Hector vessel.
Sorry, but you may not leave this sector. You'll still owe Hector Industries a lot of money.
Well, we could fight them, but we could also not fight them. The only thing I'm debating here, the part that makes this kind of funny, is like, is it better for us to just fight them so we get some extra rewards? I don't know. Because, like, this is the thing he agreed to do, Ali. So it would be weird if this didn't help. He agreed to clear our, he agreed to clear our debt, right? So, because he did that, we have the option to leave here. I just don't know if have them clear us for leaving just means we leave with no combat, or if anything else might come from it. Because, like, we could just fight these guys, and we'll get some kind of reward if we blow them up. But I don't know if it makes a huge difference, really. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, Sander. Billy might get us some kind of bonus, while Metiant probably just lets you get out. I don't want to know what happens. I'm going to try one of these. We're going to have Billy clear us for landing and see what he does. If he just lets us leave, fair enough. We have a lot of money anyway. We don't need to kill every person we meet. Hey! Fortunately, it only takes a few minutes before Billy returns and you're allowed to leave. Guess it pays to have the CEO of a major corporation aboard your ship. This one time, and only this one time. 1 missile, 1 drone part, 51 scrap, and a modular laser again. Is this an upgraded modular laser? No? No, it's a base modular laser. Well, we already have one of these, but that is a nice present. The downside here is just the fact that, like, we still have no fuel. So that's gonna be a problem. Can we upgrade our lizards? Oh, we can! What are lizard options? Lizard together strong! 10% combat damage and repair speed for each allied lizard in the room. Well, we only have one, so that's not gonna help. Technophobia. Gain double sabotage speed, double combat damage when in the room with hostile drones, and increased movement speed that scales with the shield of the enemy's shields? What a weird upgrade. You can destroy rooms twice as fast, you're good at fighting if there's a drone in the room, and you're better at running the more defended your enemy is. Weird. What's the last one? Cold-blooded. Grants fire immunity. Oh, well, that's just kind of generically helpful. Not incredible, but, like, useful. Interesting. Anyway, I think at that point then, we are just gonna cruise on out of here and hope we can get fuel soon. The only other choice that we could make is we could go to this store, buy fuel here, and then go back and leave. Because if we jump out of here, I think it costs us 1 or 2 fuel just to get to the next sector. So if we go to the Hectare store, we can definitely buy some fuel there, and we can sell all the weapons that are accumulating dust in our hold. We'll just have to fight our way out of the area, which might be a problem. But we have like a pretty good amount of money just sitting in reserve here. There's like 105 scrap in there. Might not be bad. I'm debating it only because fighting elites with the rebel, like, assault team there might be a problem for us still. Our guns are really strong, but our firepower is a little slow. Because the Waker has to get up to speed. Ooh, what are we gonna do here? I guess... I don't know how hard it's going to be to get fuel in the next sector. It's probably going to be a pretty nasty one. So let's go to the store and buy as much fuel as we can and go back. I think it's worth it. These Hectare stores sure are plentiful, but it's almost concerning how much of the sector is just stores. You suppose it's better than deadly rebels. Let's go shopping. We have nothing to do aboard the ship because none of these guys gave us new abilities. They have more mods, but I don't think we need those. They got drone parts and the teleporter, which I don't think I want either. So we're just gonna sell all these. Buy all the fuel they'll sell us. Oh, we got lucky. They have 10 fuel. Nice. That's a good deal for us. And we'll use the rest on upgrades before we get out of here. So, what else do I want to upgrade? At some point, it might be nice to try and get another system or two, because we have 2 open slots here. We could get hacking and mind control and really just go ham. But, I think for now we might want more evasion. Are there any internal lab upgrades we want? Upgrades we want. We have Aether Tech choices. We could buy the Overcharger for weapons, which is pretty cool, but it does slow down our overall attack speed, and we don't actually have the burst to get through shields until the Waker's up to speed anyway, so this doesn't necessarily really help us on this loadout. We could try the Anomaly Detector, because I don't know what it is. We don't know what space anomalies are. We've seen this a couple of times, but we've never actually seen an anomaly. So we could give that a try. That could be interesting. Let's give that a try. We've never done it. Let's go ahead and max out our sensors. Buy the space anomalies upgrade. Internal upgrade, Aether Tech, space anomalies. It does cost 3 fuel, which is bad because I need that fuel. But I want to try this. Let's perform the upgrade to detect space anomalies. No idea what that actually means yet, but maybe we'll find out. And beyond that, what we want to do here is probably go ahead and buy a door upgrade and a piloting upgrade, just to make us a little bit more likely to be able to take a hit, take with borders, and not immediately fall over. Back to the exit we go. Let's fight off the elites that are undoubtedly waiting for us now. We found the exit of the Dreadful Sector. The rebel fleet is taking control of the beacon. You have to fight your way out. Doesn't look that bad. Let's do nothing and get ready to fight these guys. They do have a hack, which could be a problem. Where is it going? It looks like it's hitting our shields, which is, in fact, a big problem. They have 2 MFK aces also, which is also a big problem. Okay. That's not so great for us. Let's get our crew in there, where they're going to get absolutely vaporized by these guys. We might have to jump out of here with the aces on board. I think we're going to have to cloak here to try and dodge getting vaporized while the hack is in place. I'm going to cloak out now that they've started firing. We are getting shredded in here, as we knew we would. These guys do double damage in crew combat and sabotage systems super fast. They just kill people so strong. Okay. We can let them kill us. Like, honestly, it's not the end of the world if they do. But, whew, it is not a good time for us. Let's get the Waker going there. We are going to jump you two out of this room. Let them shoot the door for a second and hopefully let us regenerate a little. Let's go a little further, actually, because they are going to try and bust through there pretty fast. here we go. Once this next Waker shot goes off, we're going to pair it with the mod laser and see if we can get a shot of the Lance through to turn off some of their weaponry. ASB target lock. We don't love to see that. Let's mod laser at a random room. It honestly doesn't matter what, because the only thing we're trying to do here is hit them with 3 of these shots. Yeah, baby! Alright. That means we can actually hit them, so let's run the beam through some rooms and do some damage. I would love to keep the teleporter online so that they could leave. But right now, the most important priority, I think, is making sure they don't get to hit us again. Oh, actually, I do kind of need to hit the hacking, because if they hack our shields and have working weapons, we are in trouble. So maybe we'll just hit them here for 10 damage. Or at least as much damage as we'll be able to hit before the second beam recharges. Yeah, a little bit less than I would have liked. But we'll make do for now. So, they're attacking our oxygen. That's kind of okay, honestly. Let's stop auto-firing the Lance for a second. The Rift Waker is getting up to speed, so it's gonna start... Ooh, right through the room our guys were standing in. That's mean. This doesn't matter. We can vent that out no problem. We are starting to get shots through them now, which is great. Because every time we hit them in the shields, that makes them significantly less dangerous. I think they just teleported their guys home, or did they spam more dudes at us? They went home. Great. That's ideal because we're about to vaporize them, and I did not want to have to deal with those borders. Goodbye, Battleship Ace. We've managed to defeat the fleet ship, but we have hardly enough time to salvage more than a few resources. Still, the destruction of one of these rare and powerful ships will likely cause some trouble for the fleet. 3 fuel, missile, drone part, fleet delay? That's pretty interesting. I didn't realize you could actually get fleet delay by attacking in here. That's cool. For now, though, let's leave. Do we get to pick where we go? It looks like no. You've entered hyperspeed. It must be an interesting life as a civilian who never leaves their home planet. It's a tough choice, sure, but the life of a traveler is one we'd never pass up. We're going to Lanius Swarmlands. Ooh, that might be bad. I've never seen this one. It's not oh, it is unique. During the extensive Lanius hibernation, this sector was ravaged by pirates and ghosts. Now the swarm has awakened once again, and they aren't pleased. However, with maybe a bit of scrap, you can please the Lanius enough to let you through unharmed. Well, let's exit hyperspeed and see what's down there. That's a cool looking ship. It's very spiky, even more so than Lanius normally are. As the Lanius species' mass hibernation came to a close, they woke up to find their homeworlds in shambles, picked dry by scavengers. Now the swarm works hard to repair the damage, usually with metal from alien ships. Perhaps this is why the Lanius have been so scrap-hungry lately. An elite Lanius guard protects the beacon, preventing ships from getting past and causing further damage to the sector. They hail you, but your translator can only barely make out what they're saying. Not one. You scrap? Yes. Gone. Death. Okay. So do we try to ignore them, which isn't going to work? Do we try to communicate with them, or do we send them some money? We have a slug, so I feel like we should be able to communicate with them telepathically. Like, that seems like it should get around this problem, but I guess not. I guess not. We could just try giving them the money, but I'm curious to see what happens if we try to communicate. They have a mind control and a hacking and a boarding, which could be a problem. They seem pretty decently equipped, but their weapons don't look that scary. Let's try to communicate and see what they say. You aren't sure whether you accidentally offended the Lanius with something you said, insulted them by trying to contact them, or if they always had hostile intentions, but the Lanius guard doesn't waste any more time and attacks you. Okay, fair enough. Well, let's do nothing and get ready to fight them then. We catch chatter on the other ship, mentioning something about a signal requesting ASB backup. Looks like we might have another hazard to worry about. How can we tell that that's what they're talking about if we couldn't understand them? Well, that's a bigger laser than I thought. Alright. They have mind-controlled our... Oh, he can't go through doors. Right. The leeches can, but he can't. It's a little inconvenient. The ion's not a big deal. This pinpoint beam is probably not a big deal. this is kind of a big deal. But thankfully, we can cloak them all at the same time. So, they did just board us. We had a feeling they would. Let's go deal with the boarders over here. I'd love to get our slug out of the doors. Yeah, they just boarded us, so they're not going to be able to send anybody else here for a bit. We can't vent them because... Oh, actually, I need you to stay here. They're trying to leave. We need to buff these doors. Oh, no, they changed their mind. We're good. Time to cloak. You do, in fact, need to leave. Okay, the ASB is also firing. I don't know. Yeah, it's target locked now, so it's probably going to hit us, or fail to hit us, while we're still defending this room. These guys are draining a lot of power, oxygen-wise, I mean. I think we're going to open our internal... I don't want to open the doors, so I don't want them to leave. But if we open the internal doors, we can pump the oxygen up, and that should be enough to counteract the suffocation from the Lanius. Only problem is, I don't actually have enough health to keep fighting them and keeping them in the room. So maybe we close the doors for now and get them out here to regenerate while they try and move around. Wow, timing-wise, that was close. They just hacked our doors. Okay, Rift Waker, you're going to start firing. We need to start speeding you up. We're going to also fire the mod laser. They're probably going to mind control someone in a minute too, which is not great for us. There's our third hit. So let's go ahead and take out their systems. What do I care most about? I really don't want more boarders. So let's fire through mind control weapons and shields as well as the teleporter. Looking good. They actually went home. I'm kind of stunned they went home. That's not what I expected to happen. I'm going to spread out our crew here so they don't get mind-controlled into killing each other when they're still on lower health. But I'm kind of surprised that's what happened. There's their cloak, since I didn't hit that one. They're almost certainly going to be able to repair some of this stuff before I can get back to do any damage to it. ASB target lock, I don't think we can dodge this time, but maybe. They have boarded us again, which is a bit of a pain. Here comes the shot. I think it's too late for us to dodge it now. It looks to me like it's going straight for our weapons, though, so I'm going to try. It's probably not a good idea, because these are going to alpha strike us the second they come back. And it didn't work, but it didn't destroy our weapons either, so it could have been worse. They're trying to blow up our oxygen, so we need to get the leeches in to stop that. And again, they turn off my door access right as I go to try and get in there. So... I can get one leech in. Goncharov is a pretty funny crew name. They just mind-controlled us also, which is bad. Okay, let's go ahead and fire... No, Lance isn't quite ready yet. I would love to get our CEO out of this room, but I don't think he's going to be able to get out while this is the case. Oh, he did. There goes the hacking. Great. Okay, so we can get back in there and start fighting these guys again. I'm pretty sure with our level 2 oxygen, we should be able to handle the amount of air they take out of the rooms. And now that that breach is fixed, we're probably fine. Let's go ahead and fire the modular laser and get ready to lance beam them again. Ooh, not our best shots. Not our best shots. However, now we're up to full speed. We can just crunch through them. So... Lance, what do we shred here? I am tempted to try and turn off the mind control again, because that gives us leech power back and will help us protect our cloning. And that's probably going to be pretty valuable, and I don't want them boarding us again. So let's go ahead and break these systems a second time. It won't quite kill them. Can I just kill them instead? Hold on. Is there a 5-room option here that I can use to just kill these guys? I don't think so. If there is, I don't see it. No, I'm just gonna take the 4 rooms that also turns off the things I don't want to get hit by. They did decide to go home anyway, so we love that for us. Alright. We're looking good here then. Let's turn the engines back up, and they should be dead. Yes, they are. Whew, that was a tricky fight. We defeated the Lanius Guard. Whatever might have been in their cargo has for certain been destroyed, but we can at least salvage some supplies from the ship. 1 missile, drone part, 51 scrap. By killing the Lanius Guard, we no doubt caused them to dispatch reinforcements, but in the meantime, let's waste some time salvaging. We scan the nearby area, and we find 2 missiles, 2 drone parts, and 20 scrap. Not a great reward, but hey, a reward is a reward. Back to your stations, team. I guess I should have put them back on weapons, but it's fine. We made it work. I have 117 scrap. We could spend some, but I'm going to save a little bit of it in case we need... Ooh, MV signature. Hey, we were talking about those unusual signatures. This is obviously what they look like. We'll have to go over there then. First, though, we're going to the distress beacon. What have you got in store for us? We're keeping some scrap in case we have to bribe more Lanius. You immediately do a short-range scan after arriving at the beacon. It appears to be coming from a small civilian vessel under fire from a Lanius ship. Not all Lanius are content with simply scavenging the wrecks of previous battles. It's a dropship, so they almost certainly have a ton of crew on there. Let's fight the Lanius. We move in to intercept the ship. Detecting a greater threat, they prepare to fight. We are going to have a lot of boarders coming over here in a second. And more mind control. No hacking on this one, though. So, my thought here is... Oh, they sent 1 person? Really? Okay. I'm surprisingly cool with that. Let's have you 2 go fight this dude. And let's turn the oxygen all the way up again. Open the internal doors once he... Well, no, we'll fight him for now. We'll open the internal doors once he stops trying to leave the room we're in. Didn't need to. Hey, there we go. That's a dead guy. They do have a clone base, so he'll be back. But at least for now, he is no longer a threat. Mind control did not last long enough to kill our engineer, which is nice. They're alpha striking us, so we'll dodge that. They did just send 3 more guys, though. Alright, well, let's go send reinforcements into here. You get in there. Okay. I don't know what that is. Some kind of fancy gun. Don't know what type, though. Actually, I think I'm going to send you through here to shoot this guy while he tries to leave the room. Never mind, he turned around to fight you. We'll let him shoot the door for a bit longer. Send the Waker at the shields to start cooling down. Their weapons do charge fast. I forgot to prepare for the lack of air. I think if we just open the doors, it'll be fine, but I forgot to do that earlier, so now it is not fine. Let's fire the mod laser here to try and get a beam through their shields. Yes, we did. Excellent. We are going to hit them in the weapons, helm, cloaking, and cloning, I think. Those are all things I don't really want to deal with. They did just fire a bomb in our weapons, which is pretty funny. This doesn't look like we're able to handle all of the air problems that we're having, because there are 4 of them on the ship now, which is in fact killing us quite quickly. Let's get you guys out of there so you can regenerate a little bit. And we can just repair burst this. I think I will. 1 repair burst seems pretty good. They did just mind control our lizard, though, which I don't love. Let's get out of that room. This is getting messy. They're coming in here. We don't want to accidentally kill our lizard. You don't stand there. You stand here. They're attacking our cloaking, but I think that's fine, honestly. Doors are back online. Nobody is attacking him, but we are taking hits on our leech. Okay, how are we going to handle this? I think what we're going to have to do here is take our wizard off the engines. Bring them over to replace the leech. Get out of there while you can, bud. You're gonna swap in here. We are suffocating now, which is a problem because we can't get the lizard out. If he dies, the cloning will take him back, but I would prefer to not lose the crew if we can help it. I don't know if we can help it. Let's just try opening all of these doors and seeing if maybe that'll get enough air in there that we can make him not suffocate to death and just leave this section locked off to take one less Lanius from the ship. Looks like no. They actually drain air faster than we can stop them. Okay, well, let's get pelting them again. We're gonna have a couple of deaths here, it looks like, at least. Let's close the internal doors, because that didn't work. He's just suffocating, so it's possible that they'll lose mind control before he's dead, but it doesn't look good. Let's have our leech move somewhere to help us out while we can. You gotta get out of that room immediately, because you're also suffocating. Unfortunately, our manager is going to die here, so we'll need to turn the medbay on for him. It's not quite gonna work out. Their crew is also going to die, though, and they have no working clone bay, so they can't really do anything about it. But I'm annoyed that he's dead. We, lose a bit of skill on him now. Let's take our NG out of the room so we don't lose the piloting ability. And let's take our human engineer out as well. Because we're suffocating right now for no reason. There we go. Okay, you go back in. He's going to come in and try and fight us in a second here. Modular laser, let's fire that at the teleporter so they can't decide to send anyone else in there. Great. That's what we like to see, and they should be dead right now. Fantastic. Lanius craft breaks apart. We hasten to contact the civilian ship. 1 fuel, 2 missiles, 48 scrap. When we contact the civilians, they were a science vessel. They give us 2 fuel, 1 drone part, and 46 scrap. That's a lot of money. Unfortunately, we're still dying a little bit here, but at least we got a pile of cash. Let's open all our internal doors now. Do we have enough air to deal with them here yet? Our crew is in a bad way, but our leech has fully regenerated, so they should be able to help. And our lizard is back, so they can come as well. Our ranger and our paladin are able to take him out, so that's looking good. Close the doors. Back to your appropriate stations, team. That hurt pretty bad. We lived, but like, ow! Alright, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna level up our cloaking so we get more health back. Cloning. So we get more health back every jump, because I think that's gonna make a big difference. And then I think we're saving up for level 4 shields next. That extra little laser survivability would probably be valuable for us. We might want to invest in some of the internal upgrades as well. Getting our shield recharge up would probably be pretty good. It takes a lot of fuel to do those, though, so I'm a little hesitant right now. The Clone Bay upgrade is just the backup DNA bank, which might be valuable, but since we have the repair bomb and can bring it back up instantly, I don't think that one matters. I think we'll have enough time to fix it before we lose crew permanently, even if we happen to get nuked in that room. And I don't think we need any of the other bits here. The only question for cloaking is, do we want to get level 3 cloaking or maybe get shadow weaponry? Because shadow weaponry would be nice if we can keep blasting the Riftwaker charges while we're cloaked. When you have a fast-firing weapon like that, you don't necessarily want to stop shooting every time you cloak. And I've been kind of bad about keeping track of that already this run. I don't think we necessarily need any of these. The only other thing we might want to consider is if we go to doors, we can get emancipation grills, and that stops people from just going anywhere they want on our ship. But it doesn't actually stop them from hacking the doors, which is the way they've done it most of the time, so I don't know if it really matters. For now, though, we just say never mind. Do nothing. We're going to save up a little bit more money to power our shields up a bit more. There's another distress beacon here. That's pretty good. Probably get a bunch more money out of that. I guess the only thing I'm convincing... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Kill at the loading screen. The only thing I'm debating right now is the shadow weaponry, because we do want to be able to keep firing the Rift Waker at people. So that's probably more valuable for us right now than the level 3 cloak. The only reason I didn't immediately buy it is because I haven't actually tried level 3 cloak yet, and I'm not sure if it really does more for us yet, because you can only get one of those two. But I think I actually do prefer this for our purposes. So let's grab this, and then we'll grab our next level of shields after this, because this should make our cloak a little bit more aligned with our ship operating procedure. Standard operating procedure, as it were. Distress Beacon, coming to say hello. What have you got for us? A distressed slug captain hails you while Elanius has attached itself to the top of the slug vessel and is slowly melting down the hull.
Could you do us a favor and please tell the Lanius not to eat us? We tried ourselves, but they would not respond. It would be greatly appreciated.
Alright, let's chase off the Lanius ship. To your surprise, the Lanius ship refuses to detach from the slug's hull, rather dragging them along with it. Signs detect the Lanius are trying to jump away. If they manage to jump away, they'll likely cause extreme damage to the slug ship, if not completely destroying it. Well... bad news there, friends. We're not very good at stopping that from happening. So, let's fight. But, like, they're cloaked, too? Yeah, those guys are dead, aren't they? I think those guys are just dead. I don't think we can stop that. Let's go send the team in here to deal with the boarders. Artificer's low, but they're not actually trying to kill him right now. Our Zoltan are killing each other, though, which is not great. I think what we're gonna do... Oh, I can't yet! Dang. I was gonna use our Monk's stun ability, because it would be the first time I've actually had a chance to use it. But it has not, is not ready yet. Let's get the team in here and kill these guys. I always forget how long they take to charge. Oh, he has the suicide cooldown. He doesn't have the stun ability. Who had stun? Someone had a stun. Maybe I'm wrong? I thought someone had a stun ability, but no, this one's just the suicide explosion, which I don't actually want to use. Alright, well, they shouldn't be too much of a problem weapons-wise. I think we're mostly just worried about the halberd beam timing, so as long as they don't hit us with that, we should be okay. Let's send the crew in here to continue dealing with these guys. Let's get you into the oxygen just so you don't suffocate for no reason. And... I think they'll be okay. Like, what are they gonna do to us, really? Yeah, there you go. The Zoltan here can't actually do any significant damage to our hull because our hardened systems really mess with them in that way. It looks like they're trying to board us with another set of 3 crew, though, and I don't love that at all. Can we stop them from doing that? I doubt it. Oh, it's a full boarding party? Don't love that for us. Thankfully, our anti-border defenses have regenerated back to full, but, like, let's get you on the doors so we can try and stop that from happening. Let's get you back in here as well. Hopefully they don't go for our shields, because we kind of need our Zoltan to be in there with the way we've built them. Let's... modular laser... the shields... Riftwaker over here... If I can hit them before they recharge... No, that's bad. I can hit them for 1 damage, but we are pretty sure they have a level 2 system there, so 1 damage isn't going to cut it. I think I'm going to hit them anyway. Ah, we didn't quite get as much damage as I would have liked in there. It looks like we put a hole in the hull, which is interesting, because it doesn't seem like it actually took system damage. I don't know how that happened. Let's get a leech over here just to take a look at what's going on there. Yeah, it doesn't look like it took any system damage. But they are about to come board us, which is going to be a problem. Alright. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to take that when they get here. I think we're going to go ahead and cloak out, though, because we can delay their arrival. It's just about reloaded. Oh, no, I think it just went. Damn! I was about to say, if we can hit the cloaking button now, they won't be able to come board us, but I was a second too slow, I think. Yeah, there they are. Okay, they are still charging their FTL drive, and as a result, I don't think we can stop them. I would have needed to do more damage to the helm, which I think means we're going to get abandoned with 3 Lanius on our ship, which is maybe the worst case scenario. Please go away. I don't want to deal with that many of you in here. We're going to send 2 crew in to go fight them for now. They are going to definitely suffocate, though. Let's bump our oxygen production up 2 bars to slow down the rate at which we suffocate. Slightly. If I open all of the doors on the ship, it might slow down. No, it doesn't. That's not how that works. I keep hoping it does, but it's not how it works. They're about to leave, and we can't stop them because they're cloaked. Well, what a messy battle here. This did not go our way. We do need to get people in there to fight them, because they are going to stay here after the ship leaves. The Lanius ship jumps away, tearing apart the slug ship as well. Most of the debris is caught up in lightspeed jump and flung hundreds of miles away. Only hundreds of miles? But a small amount remains. We take 19 scrap. Sorry, guys. The pre-igniter wouldn't have even helped, Ellie. What we needed was for them not to be cloaking. If they didn't have cloaking, we could have handled it no problem, because the Riftwaker would have been able to get up to speed, and we would have been able to hit them with the laser and the lance combo much more easily. But because they spent most of that fight cloaked, we just didn't have the chance to get up to speed to actually hit them. The pre-igniter would have meant we would have gotten to do 1 shot more with the Riftwaker, but we wouldn't have been able to get through their shield still, so it probably wouldn't have mattered. This combo isn't really big shield piercing, it's the Riftwaker can handle the shields more or less on its own once it's up to speed. So we do have a problem here. There's a bunch of Lanius in there. They're suffocating us, and we can't easily fight them because they're in a big room. So this is annoying. I think we're just going to wait for these guys to regenerate. And then we're going to send a bigger team in to try and fight them, I guess. We're just going to have to keep chipping health off them. And the real problem is that since our other team don't regenerate health, every time we do one of these attempts, they're going to be suffocating and we're going to have 1 less dude every time. So this is going to suck? Yeah, that sucks. We are barely doing damage to them, too. The funny part is, they will never successfully destroy this system. We can leave them in here as long as we want, because we can use repair bombs to heal it. So, like, they can't do anything to us. It's just gonna be annoying. So let's speed up the regeneration process here. Speed up the regeneration process here. Alright, that's good enough for now. Let's pop 1 repair bomb in the room. Lovely. All their work is undone. Let's send these 2 people back in to fight for a little bit more time. And out they go. I did not mean to fire that second bomb. It's a bit wasted, but we will at least get the hull repair out of it. Let's let them regenerate again and go back in. Unfortunately here, our lizard having less health regeneration than the leech does mean that they are consistently taking more hurt every time we send them in for another wave. So, not ideal, but like, honestly, we have all the time in the world. As long as they don't get the system all the way down, the repair bomb can stop them from ever doing hull damage to us. Let's get in here and kill these 2. I think we should be able to take them out on this round. Yep. Now they've only got 1 guy. That should significantly slow down their ability to destroy the system. Let's go ahead and boost the speed while we regenerate. And now he's at full health still, I think, but we should be able to take him down in many fewer attempts because we'll have double the offensive capability. Just gonna let my lizard regenerate a bit more health so we can last longer in there. And that'll do. Alright, back in, you two. Deal with this guy for me. And let's just swap you. Great, you can hop out and regenerate. Oxygen, yeah, with one Lanius, we probably can regenerate oxygen faster than he can drain it. Yeah, okay, that helps. That does help. Last guy is dead. Alright, let's just do some manual repairs while we're here, bring this back up to full, and we are in a good spot. Whew, alright, well, our team took a lot of damage, but we are victorious, so let's close our internal doors and keep rolling, but only after we put power back into things we actually want to have powered. Okay, 120 scrap. We're still making our way towards this multiverse signature. I don't know if that means it's going to be an ace or if it's going to be something weirder. But let's go to the asteroid field rather than the anti-ship batteries, because an asteroid field helps us, and the anti-ship batteries just makes everything worse. We're still saving up for the upgraded shields, so let's jump into the asteroid belt and see what we find. This beacon appears to have been set up within an asteroid field to access a mining settlement. However, half of the settlement has been disassembled by a number of Lanius scavengers. Their military escort moves in to scare you off. Mind control, big boarding again. They love their boarding, don't they? Let's do nothing. They don't have cloak this time, though, which should help a bunch. Oh, they do have cloak. I just didn't see it. Great. Well, they teleported somebody on board already, so there's one person here. We can handle one boarder. That's nice. The mind control there is annoying, but not the end of the world. And we should be able to handle this. Hello, Gentledom Thief. It's a fun name. You remember watching me in high school? You're 30 now? Right? Time is a wild thing, isn't it? We should be able to toast this guy before he can get out of here, though, and they don't have a clone bay, so he'll just be gone, which will be nice. 4 crew on 1 Lanius will still kill the Lanius. Back to stations. I think we're gonna cloak before they can hit us with this second wave, because they're gonna send like another 4 guys over. Yeah, 3. Let's go ahead and cloak now, actually. That is a bunch of nastiness headed our way. Thank you. We have our mind control turned back off, so we should be able to handle them. Now, the Riftwaker is not up to speed yet, because they've been hidden the whole time, so they're gonna be boarding us. Do I plan on playing Sunless Skies at any point? I picked it up when it was in beta, and I didn't like it in beta. So, I might go back to it now that I think it's actually released, but I don't know... I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it, because it just didn't hit the same for me as Sunless Seas did. They are gonna be boarding us in just a moment. Let's fire the mod laser here at the shields, I guess? It doesn't really matter where we hit. Bunch of folks on the ship again, though, so let's get the crew ready to go beat them up. Not that one, just you two. You get in here, you get in here, go kill that guy. They're gonna try and destroy our oxygen, but we should be able to stop them from doing anything significant to it. Let's go ahead and hit them just across these 4 rooms, I guess? Weapons is probably still more important, honestly. I want to take the shields out so it's easier to hit them next time, but weapons is still the highest priority. And if we fire from here, we can also take out their cloaking. I don't want to destroy the teleporter in case they want to go home. Anyone we don't have to fight is a good thing for us. So that turns off the big nasty looking weapon there and should make their life a little bit less easy. We should have a good amount of time to go deal with them trying to blow up our oxygen because they die pretty fast. Let's get these 2 in there. And you back on doors for now. Okay, so... unfortunately, they have cloaked out again. But the Riftwaker is almost up to full power. Oh! I didn't think about that! Did you just activate his self-destruct? That's so mean. That's so mean. So if they have a mind control and they choose a Dustbringer devotee, there's no way to stop them from exploding him. Because if you haven't actively used the ability, they can choose to blow him up on command. And even if you counter mind control, you can't stop it. That sucks. That sucks pretty bad, actually. Okay. There he goes. Thankfully, we can turn the clone bay on, so he'll be able to come back to life. We can get you in the shields now. But, like, that's so rude. Okay. Let's mod laser them in the cloak. I don't want them to leave. Okay, okay. That's good. The Lanius ship hails you. Your translator struggles, spurting out, "Prevent death, merciful, penitent." We believe they're surrendering, but no they're not. They just made us blow ourselves up. We're killing them. They decided to go home, which is nice of them. But, let's go ahead and power this up a little bit faster to get them back sooner, and let's just vaporize this ship. The destruction of Lanius' vessel provides you with great satisfaction, knowing how infamously difficult the Lanius are as foes. 3 fuel, 1 drone part, and 48 scrap. We will work with what we got. He's back. Having Monk explode honestly doesn't matter that much. He doesn't have any skill points. He's really just in here providing power. So as long as our other Zoltan doesn't die, it's not so bad. Although surprisingly, he has barely any shield skill too. But very mean of them to just be able to show up and pop your pop your Zoltan instantly. Okay. Let's get out of this asteroid belt. Oh. There's a pulsar in here! Why does everything suck? There's an ASB there and a pulsar here. I wanted to go and invest our resources before we go check out this multiverse signature, but I guess not. I guess we're just going. Yeah, I can't do anything in here because we're in an asteroid field. We need like 170 scrap to get the final tier of shields, so we're almost there. Is there anything else we want to invest in? Let's just turn on super speed so we can generate a little bit of shield skill while we're chilling here thinking. Because the things... Yeah, the cloaking does mean that a lot of their shots don't hit us, so we just don't have a chance to develop that skill. I think the thing that I'm kind of debating right now is, after we get our shields, what do we need? I'm debating potentially trying to get the auto respirators, because we've had a bunch of problems with suffocation damage so far on this ship, mostly due to borders. But, like, if we got the respirators, we take 75% less damage from suffocation, I think? Which would really help not having such an issue. The other thing that could help is just bumping up our oxygen to level 3. That would probably be enough to deal with them also. So, I don't know which one is necessarily going to be better for what we're trying to do. Our weapons are already beefy. Our engines could probably use a little bit more power. I guess if we finish upgrading the shields, the other thing we want is potentially getting the shield recharge rate upgrades, because that'll also help us not get beat up so hard by some of the big nasty energies we fight later. This doesn't seem like it's actually doing anything, so we're going to go back to normal speed and get out of here. But it was worth thinking about it a little bit, what we want to do with our money, and we're not going to get a chance to spend it for a little bit anyway. Let's jump to the pulsar and see how this treats us, I guess. Well, actually, hold on. Do we have anything? I can't check the hold. We can go to the store here if we want to spend some money. The only problem is we're like $2 short of the thing I want to spend it on. Let's try, I guess. Let's see what the pulsar has. It'll be fine. It'll be fine! There appears to be some sort of research station near a pulsar, though it's hard to tell since a portion of it has been melted. The Lanius ship that's been working at it moves in to intercept you, totally oblivious to the threat of EM pulses. Another mind control. Who's gonna get mind controlled today? Let's find out. It's our engines. Alright, this should be okay. This looks like an ion flak thing. I think we'll be able to just not worry about that. This ship really doesn't seem that dangerous compared to everything else we've been fighting lately, so I think we'll be fine. Set the Waker to start firing once the mod laser and it sync up. They have an ion pulse coming. This could be bad timing, because if it takes out our weapons, that would be pretty unfortunate. Let's hit them with the mod laser now, then. They're firing on us, but we're going to cloak when this is charged, because I do not want to get shot by whatever that is. We're going to turn off most of their systems here, I think. We're going to go from this bottom left corner, and I think we can hit at least 5. Yeah. We'll take a 5-room shot. That's pretty good. And we cloak. Delightful. They hit 4 damage on our shields, but because we have 2 double power Zoltan in there, it actually didn't do anything to us. And that means these guys are so dead. We receive an image of their captain, silhouetted by the destruction aboard their ship. It bows forward with the metallic appendages about its body doing the same. It appears to be requesting mercy, but we offer no mercy. We will bury them. And they are very dead. Goodbye, Lanius Predator. One can never be too cautious while scrapping a Lanius ship, for fear of either a lone survivor drifting in the vacuum or a collision with the sharp debris. 2 fuel, missile, 37 scrap. Nice. Time to get out of here, though. I would love to let our shields regenerate before we get into the next fight. But I think it is just time to go. Multiverse signature, hello! We've arrived at a seemingly ordinary beacon, but scans show a slip tunnel opening. Someone with a multiverse drive is jumping in nearby. We wait in apprehension, but the tunnel only continues to get bigger. From out of the tunnel comes a massive cruiser vessel of slug design. The bright hull of the cruiser catches your attention, although the arsenal it's pointing straight at us is quite distracting as well. They have a special weapon, they're a high-level threat, they've got 5 shield bars, big mind control, no boarding though, this should be okay. We could probably handle this. No cloaking, no boarding. Let's try and take them. Continue. The slug captain appears on screen wearing a large hat and humming. Had not cleared leather for... Oh, well, howdy there, partner. Didn't seem to see you there. That's a mighty fine ship you got. Shame I gotta rough it up a little, but the bounty on your head's high as noon. He does have a cowboy hat on. Incredible. You get ready for combat? Do nothing. Let's go. They have a beam drone, they have a flak, some kind of nasty looking beam, a laser and a bomb. Don't love that. Tom Banks, the Slug Ranger. Alright, they mind controlled our engines again. They also have an energy ion drone. That is a bit more of a problem. Okay, good to know. The only thing I'm a little worried about is that because our cloak is still on cooldown, we're a little bit more vulnerable than normal here. Let's get the Waker firing up though. Once it's at full speed, we shouldn't have anything to worry about. And hopefully, we'll be able to cloak before they hit us with anything particularly nasty. Let's go ahead. They have 5 shield bars. I don't even know if firing the mod laser is going to do anything, but it might. So we'll try. They fired a bomb at us, which is what I was hoping wouldn't happen. I was hoping... Oh, good, they missed. Excellent. Alright, their evasion is pretty good, though. That is going to be a bit of a trick for us. I think what we're going to do here is we're just going to cloak so we don't have to deal with this barrage coming at us now. And the Riftwaker is almost up to speed. Now it is. Alright, time to destroy these fools. So we can only do 2 damage a shot, which means we can't destroy the mind control all the way, but I think if we fire like this... Oh, there's not quite the room to hit all of these. Okay, that's fine. For now, we will lance through these 4 rooms, because those seem like pretty useful ones to take offline. There we go. Now the Waker is going to start shredding them in the meantime. It does the job kind of by itself, doesn't it? The mighty vessel's been eliminated. Within its wreckage remains plenty of scrap and supplies for the taking. 1 fuel, 2 missiles, drone part, 55 scrap, and did we get a special weapon? Yes! Big Ion! Of course it's called Big Ion. You're also surprised to find a special weapon amongst the wreckage. You've never seen a weapon like this before, so you assume it's a custom model made by the Renegades themselves. 1 fuel, 1 drone part, 21 scrap, and big iron. It's even shaped like a revolver. Incredible. What does Big Ion do? Big Ion, a preemptive ion weapon that charges so fast it can be used right at the start of combat. Does immense bio and ion damage and never misses. Texas Red won't be getting up after this one. Do you see the crew damage? It fires instantly. It can only shoot once. It's a tiny little laser. You could just kill one person with it because it does, what is that? 14,999,985 crew damage? Okay. Big Ion, congratulations. You've joined the team. What a silly gun. Alright, now we have the money to spend. Let's bring our extra shields online. That one person gets to have a bad day. Yeah. You know, sometimes you just need to hit people for 15 million damage. It's fine. It's fine. Now, the only thing we have to be careful with this is we probably want to save it until the lance is ready to fire. Because you only get to shoot it once. You can fry the system, but you want to use it when you can actually hit afterwards. So we'll see how this all comes together. Doesn't that never misses thing mean it won't miss even if the enemy cloaks? What do you mean? This never misses because it just hits instantly. It's a beam weapon, I think. Yeah. That's why it says never misses, because it's a pinpoint beam. It's not actually a projectile. It can't fire if the enemy is cloaked, because that's how cloaking works, but it's not like it bypasses a system or something. We're going to jump around here a little bit, see what else we can find. There's still apparently some Lanius homeworld events are around somewhere, but we'll see if we words are hard sometimes. We'll see if we find any of them. We're contacted by a confused and irritated Lanius.
Free mantis board. Asphyxiate, stupid. Save one. Keeping alive pain. You want?
Incredible. So they were boarded by a mantis who made a terrible decision and is now stuck there. We could take the mantis in place of Ranger. This is just probably a better option for us. The only thing is that I do kind of like having Ranger and Paladin as a team that can regenerate after they go into combat like this. And right now, Rogue, Wizard, Cleric, and Sorcerer are locked into rooms based on the fact that we need people manning those stations, and Monk is a battery, so we need them in the shields also, which means the only people that we have loose are Ranger, Artificer, and Paladin, and Artificer is the special character, so I don't want to get rid of him either. So at this point, I actually don't know if we want a Mantis anymore, which is kind of crazy. That's the whole thing that we wanted, but like not having a medbay makes having 2 regenerating defenders actually surprisingly valuable. I don't think we're going to take him. I'm almost surprised that I feel that way about it. I would have loved a Mantis at the start of this run, but at this point I think we don't need any more crew.
We can't keep! Take!
The Lanius forcibly board your ship, trying to give you the Mantis, and the struggle turns into a full-on fight. The Mantis isn't even here. This is just Lanius. That's not what you promised. Alright, I guess we go fight these guys. Let's get some crew in here to help make this go a little easier. And there's still probably too many dudes for the oxygen to be easily managed. Let's bump the air up though, so we suffocate a little less slowly, a little more slowly. Okay, this one's dead, which we like to see. Let's get you back on the doors because we're about to take our lizard out also, and they're going to want to leave. I don't really want them going in the shields, but honestly the shields aren't a bad place for them because there's a 4-person room, so I can send our defensive team in there to go protect things as well. Let's get you guys in here. The 4 of you should be able to beat these guys up, no problem. Nice. Alright, get out of the room. Oxygen should regenerate. Really? It's still drained? I guess they're still dying? Yeah. Weird. You can target your own ship with a big ion? No. It's not a bomb. It's just a laser. So, we can use it to vaporize boarders before they have a chance to board us, but we can't use it to vaporize boarders once they're on our ship. Okay, let's keep jumping. Distress beacons are always interesting, so let's go over to this one. It appears the distress call is coming from a civilian station. One of the few brave souls left trying to defend their weak claim to this territory. It seems they've now fallen victim to some sort of attack. Fearful help will never arrive. They're willing to pay you to sort out the issue. They just give one warning. These Lanius aren't like the usual. Unusual Lanius? Sure, let's promise to assist. The civilians weren't kidding about the Lanius being different. A fervent and bizarrely colored... Fervent? And bizarrely colored Lanius vessel is disassembling the nearby beacon. If they succeed, it would cut off the entire system from the Atlas. Let's contact the Lanius.
Interruption not. Gathering. Gift the Beacon Eater. Queen demanding.
With that brief refusal, the Lanius go back to tearing apart the beacon. The only evident option here is to fight. They're an augmented reclaimer. I don't know what that means yet. Well, let's do nothing and get ready to fight them. However, in the process of doing nothing, let's please put power back in the engines. They've got a big-looking rocket and a laser gun, but they don't actually have any of the systems that can give us a hard time, so that's not so bad. Let's get the Riftwaker warming up here. And we'll save the mod laser here, because now we're going to fire the big ion. Who are we going to kill? I'm going to kill this guy, Marcus McCloud. You get to die, my friend. Whap! Okay, big ion is a good time. Let's go ahead and hit them in the weapons with this, and then lance them. Oh yeah, the big ion is incredible. Well, they have no systems left. They're dead. They just don't know it yet. Goodbye, augmented reclaimer. The Lanius ship splits apart. Luckily, the beacon still remains intact, but heavily damaged. But what the hell is a beacon eater? It's almost like a baconator. 2 fuel, 1 missile, 1 drone part, and 49 scrap. When we contact the civilians, they say, "Thank you so much. You saved us from what could have been a slow and painful death from isolation. I don't know what we were thinking building a station here. Hopefully the beacon will remain functional until a repair team can arrive, but for now let us pay you for your assistance." A missile, drone part, 44 scrap. Ask him if you know what a beacon eater is.
Oh, I know a little. From what I understand, he goes by many names. I've heard he feeds exclusively on beacons, which is where his current name comes from. The king of the Lanius swarm is extremely ancient and vindictive. His swarm is the one that's claimed this territory, and they've been terrorizing the settlers here ever since the Civil War. I'm not sure what you could possibly hope to do, but if you could try to stop the attacks, I'm sure the Union as a whole would be grateful.
Oh, try and salvage the station. No, I don't think that's worth it. We're gonna thank them and carry on. Is there any reason we need to do this? I can't see why. Hey, Ginger. Yeah, we've got Billy Hayes here, and we also have a lizard in our crew as well. Is there any reason to salvage the gift? I think this is probably just spend an extra beacon, get some more rewards, and I don't think that's worth it. We don't know where the quest marker is. We thank them and carry on. We have 104 scrap left to spend. Is there anything else we need to pick up here? I think the thing that I'm going to want to grab is probably just some more oxygen. Oh yeah, the Mega Mart was really fun. The ship you fight there is also such a cool design. Very, very enjoyable encounter there. Let's go ahead and beef up our doors and our oxygen just to protect us from the boarders we keep having to deal with. And there's the swarm. Okay, we have 3 jumps to get here, which is actually exactly as many as we've got. So let's jump over here and head to the swarm. Actually, there's a battle here. I'd rather fight something. Let's go to the fight first. The Lanius Swarm usually consists of many independent operating groups, but powerful and very old Lanius, known as the Welders, function as the leaders of the swarm, whenever leadership is necessary. They aren't known for being particularly friendly either, and the Welder ship here has decided your ship will look better as scrap. I got another boarding and cloaking. That's fine, we'll deal with it. We get ready for combat. What do we want to do? We'll do nothing. So, is this guy a welder? Yes, he is. What does that mean? Temporarily moves extremely slowly, but rapidly drains oxygen and regenerates health. That's cool. Bad if they're boarding us. Metalloid crew and drones in the same room, excluding other Lanius, will lose 4 health per second. There are metal crew other than Lanius? Maybe the shells are metal? I don't know. They've only got one of those guys, though, so if he decides to try and come over here, we're gonna vaporize him with big iron. Oh, they're cloaking already. Do we want to cloak here so that they can't do anything to us? Our cloak lasts longer than theirs. I want to see if that guy's trying to board us. Let's go ahead and cloak here, too. We know they're only going to have half the cloak time we do. And no, he actually stayed on the helm, surprisingly. Okay, well... Okay, they can board us with 2 Lanius. That's fine. They've jumped in. They're coming into shields. Alright, that should be fine. Let's send our crew over to intercept here. Big ions just about ready to fire. Let's start warming up the Riftwaker. In the meantime, it is now time to murder. So Big Ion, kill their captain. Bwap, he's dead. Mod Laser takes out the defenses. And the Lance shreds the rest of their ship. Alright, those are dead Lanius. They just don't know it yet. You saw me reflexively move the rest of the airlock when they boarded. Listen, okay? It's hard not to try and want to vent them. Just because they don't care about the oxygen doesn't change the idea that it would be fun to do. Alright, the Swarm Assault is destroyed. The defeat of the Lanius elites is nothing to scoff at, and neither is the amount of salvage left behind. Fuel, missile, drone part, 57 scrap. There we go. Ooh! It seems the cargo of the Lanius ship survived the fight. Inside is a flat cannon, which you bring them back on board. We have too many cool guns. I probably can't use this, but like, what is it? It is a 4-shot flat gun, 3 power though, so it's outside of the range of possibly ever being used, unfortunately. Alright, let's keep rolling. We have a swarm beacon here. I don't know what that means yet, but we're about to find out. What do you do? That's fun. We got some, like, face-on Lanius ship designs? Or side-on, rather? You've certainly found something. A humongous artificial mass of garbage, hastily thrown together from millions of tons of scrap metal, hosts a swarm of Lanius, flickering about like bees in a beehive. None of the ships pay you any mind, but rather carry with them heaps of metal to add to the structure. In the center of the massive sphere between it all, you notice a much more refined vessel of gigantic proportions. So, we're dealing with the Lanius king of the swarm, I guess. Oh yeah, the Big Ion is so funny. It's a great revolver sprite. I love it. Very, very funny. Definitely we're gonna approach this thing, right? There's no question here. That's not an option. We have to approach. A crackling sound screams through your intercom, followed by a robotic voice. It seems they have a much better translator because you can actually understand what they're saying, minus some grammar issues.
Pestilent outsider,
Our kind endured millennia of suffering under the forefathers and stand here triumphant. Still, you learn not to grant us the space and request of the last standing elder race. Get out of my territory, or I will tear apart your puny bodies like your invasive beacons I devour.
It's a pretty good speech, to be honest. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So this guy and his swarm are a threat. We need to destroy them or try to negotiate with them to stop eating beacons. I have a feeling that just blowing them up isn't great, but I bet you we can fight him. Either way. I have a feeling he's not going to stop eating beacons. Now, here's the one problem that I'm seeing. If we needed to... Because I had a feeling that scrapping that beacon before would have just given us scrap. But the thing I was worried about is if it gives you beacon parts. Because if it gives you beacon parts, that might have been a thing we would have needed to bring him as an offering. And if that's happened, we can't do it because we didn't stay. Let's try and negotiate just to see what he says. I have a feeling that this isn't going to work and he's going to fight us anyway. You try in vain to negotiate with a beacon eater.
You are deaf? Unclog ears and listen to words I am saying. This sector belongs to my people. You are invaders. Pests. If you desire your own extermination so much, then I will appease you.
Alright, well, we're gonna fight him. Is that him? Is that the king? Let's pause real quick. Do nothing. That's the Beacon Eater! Yay! Max health is increased to 200%. Sabotage the systems at 2.5 times speed. Instantly drains oxygen from rooms. Can consume a part of any beacon when there is an opportunity. Oh. Weird. So, here's the thing that I'm debating here. I'm probably just gonna vaporize that guy. Like, why would I not melt him? I don't think it matters. The game likes to put unique people on the ships, but I don't think it actually matters for the progress of the quests because it doesn't know which one's alive. He wants to board us, and I don't really want to deal with that. So what I'm thinking we're going to do here is we're going to cloak, because we need 0.7 seconds to charge this, and if we don't cloak, he's going to board us instantly. We're going to cloak, and we're going to vaporize him before the cloak ends. Sorry, bud. You had your chance. Let's cloak the ship. They did get a mind control off on us, but that should be okay. Get the crew out of here. And you're on doors still. That's good. You can go chill out here for a second. Gonna have to get you out of here in a minute too, but they can't really hurt our shields in any meaningful way anyway. So it's fine. Now, I'd love to wait a little longer so we could actually use the lance in combination with these other weapons. But I think we're just gonna vaporize the king. Sorry, Baconator. Your days are over. Enjoy your 15 million damage. Blap! And the king is dead. Long live the king. Alright, let's start hitting the shields. And let's start hitting the shields, I guess. They're sending a hacking our way. It looks like it's hitting our engines, which could be a bit of a problem. But we're about to fry them with our big laser, so they're going to have more things to think about anyway. Okay, looks like mind control is over now that the hacking has hit. They sent a drone over, which I don't remember seeing before, but to be honest, I don't know if I was looking. The Riftwaker is winding up. They're dealing with the fires, surprisingly, on their oxygenless ship. They're sending some lasers our way, but that's not a big deal. The lance is just about ready to kill them. They did just fire the flak, which might hurt, but I don't think it's going to have the chance to. Bam! They are toast. No damage dealt. Easy peasy. The Beacon Eater's cruiser splits apart, marking the end of their reign of terror. There's plenty of scrap left behind. 2 missiles, drone part, 53 scrap. As the Beacon Eater falls, defeated, the entire swarm around you freezes in apprehension. In one last desperate effort, the Beacon Eater claws his way towards through your airlocks, dragging his deteriorating body towards you.
I have lived longer than your species has been alive. Yet this is how I'm dying. Pity.
The only option is to murder him? We have a clone bay! What? This is one of the problems with all these missions having so many different things in them. There's been a couple of times in here where I really feel like they just kind of don't address some of the things that are going on. Like, maybe I'm overlooking something here. Maybe there was something else we were supposed to do in that fight. But, like, what is he gonna do? What's he gonna do about it? I think I'm probably right. I think what we would have had to do here is, before we left, we had the option to scrap the beacon. If we had scrapped the beacon, we probably would have gotten beacon parts that we could have fed him here to save him, and that's why just, like, a mundane way of keeping this guy alive isn't being allowed. Because we don't have the thing that lets us do it. Other than that, I'm assuming it'd just be like you have to kill him or nothing. So that's a little unfortunate. I think we basically failed this because I didn't stay back there and gather the parts. So we're just going to put him out of his misery. Maybe needed the Lanius crew, but I don't know. It's hard to say. It feels like we should have been able to get this working, but not this time. We put him out of his misery. A blaster charge to the back of the head is all it takes to finish off the once threatening king of the Lanius. The Lanius ships outside stir once again, and you receive several hails at once. It seems the entire swarm had been watching the spectacle.
Outsider King murder! Bow, bow!
You can't stay for long, but accept the tribute from the concerned Lanius and hope that this victory will be enough to discourage the ravaging of Union settlements a little longer. 3 fuel, 1 drone part, 50 scrap, a Hades missile, and we did unlock a ship. So I'm guessing the thing we would have gotten then was probably an ability to get a custom crew and maybe an extra quest, because he mentioned that he has the ability to eat beacons at any jump. Now that almost certainly does something cool, but I don't know what, so we'll just have to see if we can find this area again in the future. Hades missiles, though, definitely not going to be used. Alright, we have 1 jump left, so we're going to the exit beacon so we can get out of here and get to the final sector. We've arrived at the long-range beacon. When the FTL drive is charged, we can jump to the next sector. Yeah, I'm glad we got the cruiser. I kind of assumed we would need to save the guy to get the cruiser, but it looks like no, we do get the ship. Let's explore here and see if we find anything fun. The charred remains of a ship well beyond recognition drifts near the sun at this beacon. It won't be long until the strong gravitational pull of the star pulls it in, but there might be enough time for you to salvage a chunk of it. Let's try and salvage the wreck. Why not? We have a clone bay. We can deal with problems like this. We jump when the ship powers up, revealing it to be a still functional rock vessel. They're furious you tried to scrap their ship while they were still aboard and attack. You looked dead, guys. You didn't think that through at all? Alright, well, let's do nothing here and get ready to blow these guys up. So, they are probably going to be boarding us. But again, we can just cloak out and then vaporize them before they have a chance to do anything about it. So let's go ahead and cloak now.
Bro, we were just basking.
Exactly, Ginger. Exactly. Alright, well, let's big eye on you? Pippaluck? Hassifa? Pippaluck. I'm afraid you have lost the don't get vaporized today lottery. And let's hit this here. That guy's dead, and the system is ioned, so they actually cannot leave. We don't want to be ioning shields because of the way the ion beams work. I forgot that briefly earlier, and now I recall why that is the wrong choice, because you get a lot more value out of ioning something else, and the shields still go down. And these guys are very dead. The rock ship moves into a defensive position, transmits a white flag signal, willing to buy their lives, but we've already committed to killing them, so we are going to do that thing. We are, unfortunately for them, quite merciless. The Rockmen may not be sworn enemies of the Federation, but you still feel no guilt about destroying the ship. Mostly. Me? No guilt at all. 1 missile, 1 drone part, 44 scrap, and we are getting out of here before the sun kills us. Time to jump to the Federation capital and try and take on the flagship, which I think should be pretty doable. We've entered hyperspeed. While it can take mere minutes to travel between 2 beacons, it can take hours to travel between sectors. We go to the Federation capital. It's our final destination. Under siege by the Rebellion, to save this reality, we must eliminate the rebel flagship before it destroys the Federation base, so let's do that thing. Here we are at Node 17, the Federation capital. We've heard the stories of this conflict back in Universe 0, the reality where the multiverse tech was discovered. Now we're about to take a part in it. Our actions here will either save or doom this reality. With a quick scan of our ID, we're allowed through the beacon without issue. We contact Federation Command. On the vidscreen appear several Federation and NG officers, as well as Admiral Tully in the center.
So, you're the multiverse ship I've heard about. You've come a long way, and I can only hope it's all paid off. You're the Federation's last stand against the flagship. I'm afraid we don't have any more time to chat. Is there anything you need before you face the flagship?
Tully orders the support ships on standby, awaiting your command. No. I don't need anything. I'll take a fuel in the sector map, I guess. Tully dispatches a refueling drone. 15 fuel! Wow! And transfers map data of the sector. Now that you're all ready to go, you have time to do something on the ship. So let's loot the Federation base. Salvage mission. Immediate area yields nothing, but after But after diving much deeper into the system, you stumble across an inactive pirate ship. Scans didn't turn up before. Well, let's send a team to see what loot might be inside. We can revive them if something bad happens. It looks like most of the ship has been stripped bare, however the cargo bay is still locked. It doesn't look like anyone's broken in yet. Wouldn't be too hard for you to do so. Do you wish to proceed? Phasing crew, sneak inside. Your crew is able to easily slip past the door and get inside, where they find a trap they quickly defuse. Now that it's safe to enter, the rest of the crew follow and takes all they can. 2 missiles, drone part, 57 more scrap. We have so much money, what am I going to spend it on? No idea. Well, the judges are way over here. If I want to try and get there, I kind of have to work my way all the way across the map, which might be hard. What do we want to buy, though? We have 275 scrap, which means we have a lot of money to spend. The shield regen buff is probably the thing we're going to go for. We were talking about it earlier. We've basically maxed out the systems that we have. There is a store over there, but the chance we get to jump 5 beacons before it gets taken over is basically 0. So we're probably not going to get any bonus systems this time. I think I am just going to bump 120 points into shield performance and then turn on a Zoltan shield just to make us even more tanky. So let's do that. Shield recharge boost. Shield recharge boost. Shield recharge boost. And Aether shielding. Thank you very much. Alright, now we're way tankier. We just got like 50% faster shield charge and 3 pars of Zoltan shield. So that's gonna make us pretty hard for anyone to mess with. Tully did pay for that, it's true. All of the fuel that we just got, we just pumped right back into those upgrades. We wouldn't have been able to afford it otherwise. I think at this point, we are just going to start jumping. It's going to be a bunch of repair beacons that we're wasting, but like, we have literally no choice. We have to get out of here anyway. Jump into the system, locate the nearby repair station. It looks as though a Rebel Elite is firing on the repair station. Oh, this is a difficulty thing. Right, since we're playing on the difficulty above normal, repair stations always are under attack. Okay. Honestly, I haven't felt like the difficulty modifier has done much to us this run. It made the start a little scarier, and this is the only time since Sector 1 that I felt like it did anything. Maybe I'm just wrong, but I don't feel like it's had a big impact on the rest of the run, and we still wound up with ridiculous gear. Alright, well, let's fight them. They do have a hack, which could be a big problem if they hack something we don't want them to. Now, unfortunately, the drones are going to fry our Zoltan shield really fast. I think we're going to dodge this missile and then hit the dodge escape button. Yeah, that's true, Ginger. It mentioned that it makes, like, alternate endings more difficult, and I have no idea what that means yet. I know there are some, but I don't know what they are. So, for now, that's kind of just like a, okay, if you say so, kind of setting. I have a feeling it's not going to affect us very much since we're just fighting normal dudes. Let's go ahead and kill someone. Who do we vaporize? Let's vaporize their captain. Captain? No. Whatever we kill, that whole system goes down, and they can't hack us right now because our shields are still up, so... Do we vaporize the weapons? We could vaporize any of these systems and it'd be pretty good. Let's just take the weapons offline because I don't really feel like getting shot right now. And we're going to turn the cloaking on so they can't do anything about it at all. And we will then waker them in the shields, mod laser them in the drone control. Excellent. Yeah, it's not very subtle about that. I don't remember exactly the wording it has, but it is something like that. Alright, so much for these Rebel Elites. They are already in a lot of trouble. And they haven't even brought down our Zoltan shield yet. And they're dead! So much for an elite. Fortunately, with the rebels out of the way, we're able to access the station. They're beaten up, but still able to supply us with what we need. Fuel, 2 missiles, 3 drone parts, 24 scrap. There's nothing we can do, so we do nothing. Good fight, guys. You really put up a good battle there. Now, we do still need to worry about the fact that they're going to be spamming us with a jillion borders in the next encounter. So if we want to put anything else that'll help us out on that front... I don't know if there really is anything, though. Because, like, the door control ability is not relevant against these guys. They don't get to teleport through doors. They're just regular humans. The backup DNA banks are unlikely to be necessary. It is a little bit more relevant now because we don't have the repair bomb in our inventory, so we can't just instantly heal it if it gets blown up. So I guess I'll buy it. It's pretty cheap, and it just protects us from really bad luck. Let's grab it just for safety. Other than that... I think we're probably just going to put a little bit of extra money into our engines. We have so many power bars left available because our Zoltan are providing so much juice that it hasn't really been a problem. Let's jump to the next repair beacon, though, and then fight some more people there. The odds that these things stay available is pretty low by the time we get around there. We jump into the system, noting the nearby repair station signal. It looks as though Rebel Elite is firing on the repair station to clear these guys out before we can get assistance. Yeah, we know about that. Let's do nothing and fight them. They have a cloak as well, but they are otherwise not quite as dangerous looking. They have a beam drone, which is going to wreck our Zoltan shield pretty fast. So I guess that's not quite so much fun. But the rest of their ship isn't particularly dangerous, so we can kind of just let them do that and then dodge these shots when they fire them. We don't have to worry about hacking or anything else coming in and potentially having terrible timing and ruining our day. We just want to not get hit by that through the shields. It's too bad these are like 4 seconds offset. It would be much nicer if they were a little closer together. Oh, they missed all their shots anyway! Let's go ahead and cloak just so that they can enjoy the feeling of not shooting us. And then we vaporize these poor souls. Big Ion, who do we feel like killing today? I think I want to kill this guy. Him? We could hit the cloaking so they can't leave, because it'll add a ton of Ion charge to it. That might actually be better for us. Let's kill him. Sorry, Fu. I'm afraid you are destroyed. Let's fire the Waker, fire the Mod Laser. Lance will be online in a second or two here, and that means this ship is in for some hurt. Good try. Alright, they can't get in the shields because of the lockdown beam, which means some of their crew are wasting their time, and they are going to be dead before they can do anything about it. Turns out the lockdown laser is pretty fun. I kind of just bought it to see how they worked as the mod weapons, but like, it's pretty powerful. Fortunately, with the rebels out of the way, we're still able to access the station. We get another fuel, 2 missiles, 3 drone parts, and 16 scrap. Not an incredible reward, but we'll take it. I'd love to get over here to the judges just to see what else they've got. I don't know if we can go that far, if we're going to run out of time before we have to get back to the base, but we're going to try. We found a makeshift rebel drop point, a place for transport ships to deliver supplies. Protected by a well-armed MFK guard, but if we can destroy it, any supplies currently kept at the platform will be ours. We can take them. They've got a fancy missile launcher, but we have a big Ion, so like, come at me, bro. We attack the guard. We raise weapons and attack the guard. Alright, let's do nothing and fight these guys. They don't have a teleporter. They do have a bunch of fancy ace crew, but they're not going to get the chance to use their fancy ace crew. Where do we get the lance, if I recall? I believe we got it when we rescued Billy Hayes? When we beat the angelic thing? I can't remember what it's called. The Death Angel ship thing? I think that's where it came from. I'm tempted to beam them here, but I want to wait a little longer. So I guess what we're going to do is we're going to try and just shut them down before they get the chance to ever hit us with anything. Because we can big Ion either the weapons or the missile launcher, but if I cloak now, we're not going to be able to dodge the rockets that will inevitably be firing at us. I don't know if that's where I got it, Ginger, but I think that's where it came from. Oh, they are saving up to shoot us. Alright, well, time to big eye on them. So, I'm going to fire on this guy, and fire on this guy, and fire on this guy. And fire on these guys. Lovely. They didn't even manage to break our Zoltan shield before they are doomed to a early grave. And they're done. Nice try, MFK Guard Ace. You get so powerful in this mod. These guns are ridiculous. We've defeated the guard and scrapped the remains before investigating the platform. 3 fuel, 2 missiles, 58 scrap, and raiding the drop point finds 5 fuel, 3 missiles, 21 scrap on a faux shard beam. Nice. I mean, we don't need it. It's just sitting in our hold, but like nice. They are moving closer to the base. I'm tempted to go to the judges just because it'll be this like the second time we've gone there, but I'm a little worried about how much time we have to get back to the center. Distress beacon it is, though. Let's go get as far as we can. I'm kind of assuming, maybe people can tell me if I'm wrong, that if the flagship gets to the base, it's going to give us the 3 turns countdown again. So as long as we can jump there within 3 turns, it won't matter that they've taken it over, and we'll still be able to save the day. Because if not, I'm going to have to turn around now. The remnants of a battle litter this beacon. The surface of a nearby planet is desperately sending out a distress call about a wrecked defense satellite that's currently falling out of orbit. It'll likely cause both short and long-term harm. Unfortunately, an aggressive rebel ship is flying towards you. You only have a short time to address the situation before the rebel starts attacking. Let's try and steer the satellite back in place. Try as you might, you don't have time to fix the orbit of the satellite. Rebel ship arrives before you make any progress. Well, those guys are dead then. Let's do nothing, and... oh, they got a big rocket launcher. That's mean. Again, they're not going to get a chance to use it, but, like, it would be cool if they did. Big Ion has made the issues of speedier guns kind of moot. Yeah, well, exactly. The Big Ion... it means that our problem with the Waker taking time to get up speed is no longer a problem, because it means we can lance them instantly. It is pretty ridiculous in combination with the rest of our arsenal. Because now, all I have to do is decide that this person dies. Aim that here, fire this at this one. And, like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Nothing. They're gonna explode is what they're gonna do. I could have fired that up this way. It would have done 2 more damage. But, like... come on! What can you do against that? Nothing. You explode is what you do. Alright, 2 fuel, drone part, 40 scrap. We'll take it. Unfortunately, the satellite crashes into the surface of the planet and does massive damage. We do nothing about it. Alright, so ideally we can go Judges, Store, Merchant, Base. But we're gonna go to the Judges and find out what they're all about anyway, because this will be the second time we've come back here. A strange vessel approaches, and on the screen appears 3 aliens dressed in long robes, their faces covered with ornate masks. We tire of introducing ourselves over and over. Our process repeats. Approaching another traveler. An opportunity this is. An opportunity this is.
Present us tribute, we'll judge your merit.
So, this is the tech one. This is the one that would be pretty easy for us to do again. I don't know what the Judge of Warfare wants. We just know he likes you to fight things. And the Judge of Diplomacy presumably likes it if you've made friends with people, and we kind of haven't. So let's go Judge of Warfare, because we've done a lot of murdering and not a lot of forgiving. So let's see what they have to say. Wakes and grunts and shrugs back his giant shoulders.
You seek my blessings? Then you must prove yourself first. Show me your arsenal and I'll show you what I think. Do not fail me. I have little patience for you.
Oh. So he actually just cares about your weaponry. I thought he was going to care about, like, killing all of people, not accepting surrenders, something like that. But no, he just wants you to have big guns. I don't know which one of these is rarer. Yeah, honestly, Legolas, it was really easy to install the Slipstream tool. Makes life really easy to install. And it just installs onto your Steam one if you want, so it's easy to launch too. I don't know which of these is harder to get. Like, we have so many choices here, but I have no idea which of these is actually rare. Modular weapons presumably only come from Hector space, which is presumably hard to get. I don't know, Renegade loot, I guess, is the Big Ion. I don't know what special loot is, and I don't know what next-gen tech is. Like, these titles don't really clarify to me what they are. Maybe I'm just gonna pick special loot because it has special in the name. I know how to get Renegade loot. You fight a Renegade and you get it there. Next-gen tech, I'm assuming, is like the Lance, and we've had a couple of those Aether techs. Special loot, I'm assuming, is the Walker because it's a special weapon that you had to get from a specific special quest line. And modular weapons are the Hector ones. I don't know which one of these is actually rarer, but I'm gonna hit special loot and see what it does. So, let's see what they say.
Special loot. Sure. This is tribute, I suppose. What strange tech, but I've seen better. Your tribute's uninspiring. Still, Thess demands I give some reward. So be it. I shall bless you with the blessing of speciality. But have patience. It's not for now, but for later. They say the good admiral had a brother. I have never met him. I heard he hid like a coward when death came for us all. I did not hide. I will hunt down this disgraceful Obadon and I will throttle him. If he is dead in my cluster, then he will soon be dead in yours. If only the Creed would let me.
Alright, well, that's something. Let's keep jumping and we'll figure it out. I don't know, presumably this is the same thing as always, where the achievement... I can't really view those from here, can I? The achievement doesn't apply until our next run. I don't know what the weapon ones are gonna do, though. We'll find out, I guess. Let's jump to the Federation store, sell off all our extra weaponry, and then go see what else is up. The store at this beacon is well adorned with Federation regalia. Several patriotic slogans are broadcasting where there would normally be advertisements. Diversity is our strength. Fighting inequality at every turn. Friendship between species. Standing against xenophobia. Make Admiral Tully proud. We hailed the store. Please come in. We've heard of your heroic exploits and we're here to show you our support. We're giving you a 30% discount. When you see Admiral Vance, make sure to send him a missile with my name on it. Nice. We have nothing to do aboard the ship, so we'll just come in here. Unfortunately, we can't buy any of those. We got a full hull. Let's go ahead and sell the Fire Flak and the Hades Missile and the Fauchard Beam, and we'll keep the rest. We have an opportunity to get another augment here, so we'll probably do that. The Asphyxiator cripples enemy life support. Uses more power for each system bar disabled from 3 to 5. The Emergency Generator will only reduce power usage by 2. I guess the emergency generator usually makes those things free, but since this one's really expensive, it doesn't do that. The engine disabler, again, uses power. And exovests increases your crew's max health by 10 and their movement and healing speed by 20. Well, healing speed, irrelevant, because we don't got any of them healing buttons. But it will help for our regenerators. So I guess I'm going to buy this, because that's the only one we can actually use. We don't need the crew, we don't need any of this other stuff. Oh, I could actually buy the systems, though. Okay. Why not? Why not? We have the money. Let's use it. Okay, we have hacking and mind control now. Good luck. I wasn't even thinking about the systems. Cool. We are like a menace now. We have Sylvan in front of us. We gotta get to the base. We only have 2 jumps to get there. You missed the old Asphyxiator augment? It's not the same these days. Probably used to be a little too powerful. So, the only thing I'm debating here is, like, do we even go to Sylvan anymore? We don't have any money left. I just burned it all. If we go here, we get at least one more fight. Gets us a bit of extra cash. And then we can go fight the flagship. It would be fun to try and fight Sylvan at one of these times, but I don't know if it's a really good idea right now. I want to just get some wins on the new difficulty and see how this changes things before I start trying to murder the most powerful ship I've seen so far. So let's go and fight this guy and then we'll jump further. The old one was passive, but it broke your life support? Oh, that's fun. A very strangely colored pirate ship is already here. They hail you. Oh, it's these guys!
We are the keepers of the box. Only he who is truly worthy may wield the box's power.
Okay. The pirate says nothing more. You fly away until you can no longer see them. Ah, I was hoping, okay, we'd get a different reaction from them. I didn't realize it was the no thank you. That's too bad. I was hoping they would just be like, cool, you have to carry this anyway, good luck. But it's just the don't do anything here event, which is kind of sad. I think we only have like 3 wins? 2 wins? 3 wins? A couple. Let's get over here to the base and fight the rebel flagship before they blow everything up. I know, the glint on the ship's window is pretty funny to me too. I was just looking at that. This is it, the rebel flagship. If we're able to destroy this monstrosity, the Federation fleet will have a chance of surviving. There's no turning back. Thankfully for us, they also can't get over here because we have a Zoltan shield, so they can't teleport in, I don't think. Unless they can bypass that? They might be able to bypass that. They have invasion tactics, which we already know about. No, it doesn't look like they can bypass it. Nice.
The people who are in that room are like, okay, fine, I guess I'll go stand somewhere else. Jeez. They have one MFK ace in there. We're probably gonna need, and another one in here. We're probably gonna need to melt one of those with our big ion. They can't mind control us either because we are still in the Zoltan Shield. That Zoltan Shield does good work. All right, let's charge up our first barrage here and then blast one of those aces. Which is our least favorite ace? Probably the one arming this rocket launcher. Goodbye, Aki. You had your shot. Enjoy our shot of so many damage. 15 million damage coming directly to you. And the lance. No, the big ion joke isn't lost on us. We got it from a cowboy. Of course we know. All right, let's go ahead and lance. What do I want to lance? Probably just these systems because they're relevant. Can I hit a little bit more from here? No, it's a little too far. We could hit more rooms than that, but I don't think we could hit more valuable rooms than that. And stopping them from wanting to board us will be helpful here because they're going to. That'll do for now. All right, that also took out the teleporter. Yeah, thanks Tully for buying our Zoltan Shield. Exactly. We could use the hacking, but honestly, I don't know if we even need to use the hacking right now. I think we're just gonna cloak out this barrage when they try and hit us with any of this stuff, and then it doesn't matter anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and mind control one of you. Oh, good, I got the ace. Even better. Yeah, I'm just gonna cloak this, thank you very much. And by the time the cloak wears off, they're probably already gonna be dead, because that should be another lance charge. Ooh, not dead, but they sure are in trouble. Alright, mod laser. Am I just gonna fire you at shields too? Shields are broken. Let's go ahead and fire you at one of these weapons that could actually try and mess with us a little bit. Or mind control, that would be a nice target. Nice try with the mind control. It's already broken. And they're dead. Good work, team. You almost hurt us. You didn't, but like, almost. Just as we finally find a way to make... Just as we finally gain the upper hand, it finds a way to make an FTL jump. We get 2 fuel, missile, nope, 2 fuel drone part and 25 scrap, and we have to follow them. Is there anything worth spending 29 scrap on? No, there's actually nothing we could spend 29 scrap on, but let's just follow them around and go beat them up some more. I should have waited until our ion was recharged, but it looks like they did that automatically. We chase down the flagship and discover it's heavily damaged from the previous fight. Scans indicate it's redirected considerable power to its drones, and let's get ready to deal with that. Unfortunately for them, we have redirected considerable power to the big ion. And by considerable, in fact, I mean no power, which is ridiculously good still. That thing is so powerful. No power? Instant kill someone? Turn the shields off? Crazy. Alright, do we want to use some of our other tools here? Just for fun, let's stick a hacking on their drone control, just to be extra rude about it. Oh, they do have a defensive drone. I couldn't see him because he was off camera. I kind of assumed they'd have one, but I couldn't see it. Alright, well, what we're going to do then is we're going to go ahead and cloak this out in a second, but first... Yeah, that's good enough. We'll cloak so that the boarding drone doesn't actually hit us. And... I think we're going to torch this system. I would love to use the big ion on someone else, but if we just zap the drone control or the hacking, neither of which have a person in them, what are they going to do about it? And the answer is absolutely nothing. They are going to do nothing about it. It does look like the MFK ace is up there, so let's mind control him. And then, here's the really silly maneuver. When someone comes over to stop him, Big Ion says hi. Bwap! He's dead. Waker firing. Mod laser firing here. Good. We're gonna fire the lance through there this time, I think. I was gonna go drone control, but I changed my mind. Alright. Now we're gonna shift the mod laser over here, and I think we're going to fire this one this way. That'll do for now. That's not what you thought I was cooking there? Oh, I don't know what cool idea you had in mind. I was just trying to sneak someone in so I could vaporize them. I guess I could have moved him, which would have been better. I keep forgetting that when you mind control people, you control where they stand. That's probably the biggest problem, because what I could have done is stood them in the same square in here and then vaporized them both. And that would have been better. But I always forget you can move people when you mind control them. All right, here come the two. Yeah, it would have been much cooler if I had gotten the collateral kill. But I will take my lack of collateral and just kill these guys. Unfortunately, we have two boarding drones that smashed into us, one in the helm, which is pretty mean, but they're not going to really get a chance to take advantage of that because they're about to not exist anymore, so I can forgive them this time. Can I hit that corner from here? Yes, I can. That'll be a nice 8. That's a better room spread. And they are setting up their power surge, which could be an issue, but they only have 6 health left, so I'm going to just count on it not being a problem. Let's get you out of there. And I was correct. It's not a problem. Let's get you out of there, though, before you suffocate anymore. We finally gain the upper hand. They make another FTL jump. 2 missiles, drone part, and 25 more scrap. The real sauce would have been the mind control in the southwest corner. Wait for reinforcements for the triple. Yeah. Yeah, wait for someone to come in the room as well. That could have been good. Let's pump our oxygen up to full here. And now it should basically not matter that we have breaches in those rooms, right? It should fill faster than they can drain? No? 2 breaches might be a little too much. Whatever. Let's go fix these real quick here because we want to go chase those guys down. Finish beating up the enemy. I am just really not used to using mind control yet. I gotta practice with it a little bit more. I keep thinking you just click the button, target a room, and you're done. Alright, close the doors, and let's go chase these suckers down. First, though, we're gonna buy 1 more power bar so we can actually run everything at the same time, and now it's time to go take down the final phase of the flagship. They do have their own Zoltan shield this time, so they're a little bit less susceptible to getting absolutely bodied by the big ion. We're not certain how they're able to keep fighting with the amount of damage it's sustained. Transfer power to its defensive systems with some kind of super weapon. They have cloaking as well, which will be a bit of a problem. Curious what logic led us to giving the sub-minimum wage lizard man the class of paladin. Simple. He's beefy. He's tanky because he has more than 100 health. He has a beneficial aura because he makes people around him take less fire damage. He has the ability to lay on hands. He can heal himself. He has regeneration. So it makes a lot of sense to me that he is, in fact, a paladin. Just because he's deeply immoral doesn't mean that he can't become a paladin. Alright, let's fight these guys. Is there anything we want to do here? I'm a little bit uncertain when we want to use the big ion in this fight, because we need to blast down the big shield, and if we don't use the big ion at the top, it's going to take a long time to get it down, but once we get it down, we still have to get through the shield bars. Once the Riftwaker is fully charged, it's not going to matter anyway if we have the big ion or not, so I'm a little uncertain how we want to try and play this here. I think what we're going to do is just try and eat the first couple of shots here. Slowly blast through their defenses and big ion the weapons so they don't get to keep hitting us. Because I can't mind control or hack through this. You've played a light armor paladin before, don't diss? Yeah, you can do it a lot of different ways. They have fired the rockets though, so I do kind of want to dodge now, but this thing is scary. I don't know what it is. We also have the big blast coming later, but I think it's going to be more valuable for us to not get hit now than not get hit in a little bit. So let's go ahead and dodge here. That'll give us the chance to bring some more of these weapons online, and if we're going to big ion, we basically want to do it now. So let's go ahead and big ion. I don't think it's going to go through the Zoltan shield, but it should take the Zoltan shield all the way down. Yes. And that'll let us mind control... Who do we mind control? One of the people on the weapons, I think. I think the ace is gone? No, he's still here. Okay, let's mind control the ace. That'll drag one of the people over there to try and deal with it. We're gonna get shot pretty hard here in a second. This might do some damage to us. Incorrect. It did no damage to us. The shotgun of bombs also missed. Okay, so this is like a bomb flak. I keep forgetting that exists. It is incredible. They missed so many shots there. I think it's gonna be too late to stick this on this system. I'd love to stick it on, but I waited a little too long. It's gonna get at least one more salvo before we can do anything about it. Yeah, here they come. So as long as the missiles don't hit too effective... Everything missed! Our evasion is incredible. Wow. Well done, team. You're really nailing it. And now the Riftwaker is set to kill, so these guys are very in trouble. Let's hit them in the weapons, because I actually don't want to get hit by that again. It's almost more of a problem to me. You can see these weapons are speeding up really fast. I forgot about that. Let's not let them charge up that rocket anymore and hit them like this. Okay. Now that that's in place, we're going to activate the hack. Oh, it didn't go through. Do they have hacking defenses? Or did I just not see what happened there? We rolled incredibly lucky everything missed us odds there, which is very fun. The hack went on this time. Something must have hit it last time, because it just didn't do anything. But these guys are dead now. They can't do anything against this. That's ridiculous. The hack drone must have gotten shot, yeah. The valiant effort of the VSS Pathfinder, a successful crew of rogue, wizard, cleric, sorcerer, monk, ranger, artificer, who is here as a spy from D&D 5th edition, and Paladin have successfully defeated the Multiverse flagship. Not bad. Okay, I think so far it seems like the challenging modifier is pretty doable. We're probably just going to leave it on that at least. We might bump it up again to see what the harder button does, but that was like very easy, despite the fact that it made it harder. Pathfinder has Inventor. Yeah, it's true. Pathfinder 2nd edition does have some pretty similar stuff. But yeah, I kind of expected we were going to struggle a little bit more with the difficulty increase, but you still get such ridiculous weapons and crew that it kind of didn't matter. So, like, I'll take it. How does this compare to our other ships? This is our second best ship, but a pretty big gap from the kitchen sink. Not bad, though. Not bad. Achievements-wise, we got a couple of things. We got Greed is Eternal a little while ago. No, none of those were from here. High Noon, defeat the Kleptocracy Sea Renegade and get the big ion. That's a fun one. That's a fun one. Yeah, since FTL itself has a built-in hard mode, MV difficulty just changes MV things. I assume hard mode just still does normal hard mode things. Less rewards, smarter enemy targeting, that kind of thing. So, we'll deal with that later. We got Tax Evader for Billy Hector. We got Second Chances for saving Metyunt from a lizard uprising. We get the Blessing of Specialty. While in effect, your weapons charge 5% faster. Oh, interesting. I wonder if they're all basically that for Wakeson. I don't know. We'll find out when we get another one, I guess. Are there any other ones we got that were interesting? We got some new songs. That's it. All right. We'll take those. I want to go look at the ships we just got, though. So before we wrap things up here, let's just take a quick look back at the hangar. Because we unlocked the Harmony... What is that called? The Harmony Cruiser. They've taken an interest in collecting one collective consciousness across dimensions, and ships like these are tasked in defending it. So our NG ship here has a drone arm and medbots. Oh, this is a modular arm upgrade. Huh. So you can stack it to get more... Hold on a second. Hold on a second! Does that mean you can get a drone arm, and every time you use a drone, you get 2 drones back? I don't know why you'd need that, but, like, that's pretty funny. And the advanced navigator again. Energy cannon, an energy drone, an amphidrone for combat or defense, and a bunch of crew. Okay, interesting. What are the other ones that we just got? You have a drone arm and any other arm? Ah, that's too bad. It would have been funny if you could have 2 of the same one. No C's for those guys yet. Normally you can only have 1 arm. Yeah, I haven't actually built arms at all yet. I probably should be doing that, but I haven't. We got this one, the Angelic Deathbringer. The Angels are some of the finest mercenaries in the galaxy. This stealth ship must rely on its deadly crew to kill the enemy quickly before it takes too much damage. What do you have? You have an Angel. Super elite mercenary crew. The Angels of Death are the Syndicate's finest mercenaries, trained by Vale to be ruthless killers without mercy. The edginess is part of the job. 1.3 times damage in crew combat, 1.7 times ranged damage. They take less damage, half from hazards, resistant to stuns. Okay. You get a Mantis and Rockman. You get an Overconserver. Can charge additional energy shield points. Okay. Interesting. And an assault drone. Particle or pierce mode. Huh. Do note the symbol on the bottom left of the cruiser in the selection menu. Yeah, this is crew sizes, right? So this one only has 6 crew slots? Unless there's something else you're talking about? It's a cool looking ship, though. That one might be fun to try sometime. Seems like it's got a lot of problems for you, though. It's got no weapons. You gotta go in and try and murder people. And you have a limited crew size. So if you're doing boarding, you have no one to leave behind. What else have we got? Anything else fun in here? I know we unlocked at least one more ship. There's the Hector Cruiser. The Hector Cruiser gives you a bunch of Hector crew, unsurprisingly, and a tree lizard thing! Ah! Tree lizard thing. Primitive lizard transformed into an underpaid sweatshop worker for Hector Industries. They have 120 health, 1.2 times combat damage, but slower repair speed. They regenerate if left alone, and they learn skills slower, but learn combat and repair skills faster. That's cool. You start with 1 mod laser. Doesn't have any modules in it. Oh, it has a cooldown module in it, so it charges faster. That's fun. And it has Hector Ultra Stick Gel. What is this? Revolutionary brand new variant of slug repair gel produced exclusively by Hector Industries with a little bit of lizard mixed in to give it that signature aroma. All crew move slower in empty rooms. Allies take 50% less damage in them, and they also benefit from stun resistance. Okay, so this is just slug repair gel. No worries, Ginger. Have yourself a great evening. Hector Virtual Store introduces the Hector Virtual Store interface. Remotely activate Hector's vast stock of modules and modular weapons. Purchase a blueprint and print it aboard your own ship with the included Hector 3D fabrication tech. That's a fun one. So you can kind of just constantly buy mod weapons with this ship. That's neat. What else have we got? We got one more at least that was new. With the Lanius Cruiser. So this looks like your basic Lanius Cruiser. That's fun to have it. It's the Cruos, in fact. It is exactly the same name as the basic one from the first game. Or the base game, I guess, not the first game. It's got respirators in it. So you take less damage from suffocation. So your crew, if they do wind up needing air, can live for a little bit longer. Anything else we got? I think that's everybody. Not bad, though. We got a couple of good ships there. A couple of good ships there. So that's another pretty nice, successful run completed. I had a good time with that one. I think it's an interesting case here. One of the things that I'm trying to figure out is what the difficulty that I actually want to play on is, because, like, we steamrolled the last half of that run. It was... I kind of expected the difficulty in-game modifier to make things a bit harder, but we really stomped them. So I'm thinking next time we might try a hard difficulty run just to see how much harder it gets with less money and more intelligent aiming, all of the problems that come along with hard mode. Because right now it sure felt like we could kind of just do whatever we wanted and got away with it no problem. So since challenging difficulty didn't really increase the difficulty in a way we could feel, we'll need to experiment a little bit more next time. If you can beat something 2 to 4 times harder than flagship, bump it up. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, we crushed the flagship with no damage in all 3 phases. We probably need to be on a harder difficulty. So, either way, thanks for watching today, folks. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I will probably be back on Wednesday for some more word games, and then we'll do another FTL run Friday, and then probably Saturday again. Other than that, though, I hope you have a wonderful time with the rest of your weekends, and until next time, bye-bye.